All right, I believe that is good. All right. So we'll just get right into it. Welcome everyone to Malevolence. Uh, you all know who I am, but you all should tell me about your characters, starting from left to right. Dirge, what's the deal?
Oh, I'm Miirshroom and I am playing Dirge. She's a Tengu cleric, and she's here to get some bones and turn them into bright and colorful things to make, make all this awful, upsetting stuff just a little bit happier and brighter.
I love her.
Next
Hello.
up, we have Ruckus.
Ruckus. I, uh, I apologize for Ruckus. Um, I am Nico. I'm going to play Ruckus. I don't know what's gonna happen when he starts talking, so I'm apologizing in advance. He is a hunter of ghosts. He, what is he? He's a he's a Strix who is constantly molting from the stress of
Oh,
perpetually exposing himself to madness on purpose for a living.
All right, and next up we have Oleander. If I'm saying that right.
You are. Yeah, no, I'm Kitty. I'm playing Oleander. She is a sprite who used to be a little dragon pixie, but she died and stayed dead for a while. Somebody wished her back to life, and now she goes around and investigates spooky stuff for people or checks to see if your house is burglar proof.
And then finally we have Phoebus.
Hello, Sunshine. I'm playing Phoebus. My name is Six. Phoebus is a human ASMR bard, and he's going to be shedding a little light on this spooky old house. He thinks it needs a little bit of an uplift,
Ah,
and he's here to support everyone else.
excellent.
That's my Ruckus.
All right, so we'll get right into why you guys are here. Um, you all are more or less professional ghost hunters. You deal with spooky things, maybe not even just ghosts, but undead. You know, that kind of thing. Um, while looking for some leads into a new job, you heard about a place called Xarwin Manor. There was a guy there. His name was Ioseff Xarwin, who used to run it, and then somehow it fell into calamity. No one's really quite sure why, and people who've traveled near that area have experienced spooky things. Um, like all good ghost hunters, you did some research before you decided to make this journey. Um, you stopped at a nearby library to see if you could find any sort of anything on on this house or the guy who ran it. So we will start you guys unlocked with the Xarwin Manor topic, which I will show.
ooh.
Wow.
We don't even have to roll to investigate this library.
Well, you will, um,
Oh,
to see what information you can glean. But these are the things you know about already. And you know who Ioseff Xarwin is, so you will be able to investigate him.
mm.
So the way it works for you all is you have to make, as you discover topics and as you research things, you have to sort of spend a certain amount of time, usually a couple hours, to research something. So, anyone who wants to do some research on Xarwin Manor, which can be any of you, there's no limit, um, you can either make me a library lore check, a diplomacy check, or a society check.
Hmm.
Okay.
Basically, if you defeat a certain DC, you're rewarded research points, and you are able to learn the sort of tiers. You unlock different things at 2, 4, 6, and so on. So yeah, anyone who wants to research the manor before you all actually make the journey there, You can give me. I
Sure.
don't think anyone has library lore, so
Nope.
you can
I
give
have
me
a lore that I
diploma.
didn't put anything in. I was going to ask you what would be the best thing to put there.
Do you have library lore?
I have a lore. I didn't know what kind of lore to put.
Oh. It
Huh.
should have been. Oh, that's right. It would have been based off your background, which was the wished
Ah.
one. So maybe you don't have a lore. So in that case, you just make diplomacy or society.
Do we need to be trained in them
No.
to roll?
Oh, if you do need to be trained, I'll let you know.
Nice. Sure.
A fish.
Ruckus.
Society. Okay, so yeah. Okay,
Alrighty.
so yeah, you guys don't really find too
Oh, wait,
much
I
on.
didn't tell you which one. Did we have to tell you which one we wanted?
You were doing. I mentioned Xarwin Manor first,
Oh,
so
okay,
that's the
Xarwin
one.
Manor.
Okay, so
Alright.
that's a crit. So you basically do all the work on this one, and you unlock both basically everything you can from the library.
Wow. Dirge has no special built talents in this, but she's like a sponge.
Okay, it should be updated now. Do you guys see that?
Do we?
I have to switch browsers because they aren't loading for me.
Oh, we know where it is.
Yeah,
That's
me
good.
neither.
Oh,
I
weird.
switched to Chrome and now they're loading. So maybe.
I clicked the show players button, so it's
Maybe.
Yeah, it's
so,
still just a blank window for me.
So exit out and then go back in.
Oh, fun.
I refresh.
These will all be in your notes. They'll all show up there. So yeah.
Topic Live's completely blank.
Yeah, as you guys are refreshing,
Okay,
and
I see.
as you explore the house and other areas, you'll be given opportunities to learn more about certain topics. But you can only get so much information from each of these sources. You might find books or some sort of something in this mansion that will give you more information. But you actually unlocked everything you could just from looking in the library. You know the location of Xarwin Manor, and you know the date of its construction, and the date it was abandoned. So it was around for a little over 10 years before things went bad. You also know that several of the workers who built the manor vanished soon after it was completed, and the manor's original floor plans were lost or destroyed.
I see.
You also know
Sweet.
to investigate Ioseff Xarwin. You can do, if you have library lore, which no one does, so we'll skip that one, give me another round of society or diplomacy checks.
Alright.
Alright, Ruckus. Get your society out. Do your best, my sad, shitty boy. No. This isn't character for him. Understandable.
Okay, so dun. Okay, Phoebus, you're able to learn something about him. Let me just double check something real quick. It'll let me do this real quick.
I fluttered my long eyelashes at someone long enough that they went, okay, okay.
We'll tell you about this cursed man who maybe buried some bodies in his basement.
You weren't really
Please
able to
leave
find.
us alone, you
Yeah.
shiny thing, you.
You weren't able to find too
Go
much about this
away.
guy. You didn't really find any books in him, but you're able to find like an old newspaper with a story about him sort of moving into town. Ioseff Xarwin is a human man. He was the first paramount of the county of Ilverness and was married to the artist Asthena. They had 2 children, twins named Marnie and Mira.
Interesting, alright.
And
I'm expecting a really ornate and fancy manor.
well, we'll see, because it takes several days to get there. You come across, before you even get to the manor, you come across this very old, rundown town. There's basically nothing left after exploring for a while. There's no people. It's very run down and just kind of crummy. But you figure this is sort of an okay base of operations. You've learned in the past that holding up in a haunted house is usually a bad idea, so it helps to have somewhere to go if things go sour, to sort of rest and recuperate. It takes a few hours to get to the manor from here, and as you all approach, the sun is going down, and you find yourself outside the manor.
True ghost hunters only go ghost hunting at night. I see.
That's how it works. That's where the guts.
I prefer I prefer sunlight, but you do you.
Maybe this is our edge on everyone else, because we got Phoebe here making all the sun at the times when no one else wants to be out and about.
Well, thank you, darling. You're too kind. Should we set up camp for the night, or set up before we go in?
We set up before we go in.
Alrighty, someone help me with this tent then.
Reconsult Ruckus.
Well, before you go through there, you're at this big old rusty gate.
Gate.
This map I had to scale up quite a bit because it is very small and not very nice.
Yeah.
Swaths of moist green moss grow on the stone pillars that flank this rusty wrought iron gate. Tangles of blackberry vines weave through the gate's bars. A rusty metal coat of arms comprised of a series of overlapping circles, rings, and stars adorns the front of the gate.
Ooh.
Is it locked?
You can try.
Or is it just a shitty old gate?
I would assume that if a bunch of people are going in, the gate would be unlocked.
I never know. Let's try.
You try the gate, and while you realize it's not locked, all these vines are kind of keeping it closed.
Well, I see no one's been picking the berries. What a waste.
We climb the walls.
Ruckus yanks at a vine. How strong are they?
You feel like with maybe after a minute, you guys could have these cleared out. They don't seem too bad. They're just really in the way.
Ruckus begins comedically yanking at vines.
All right,
How
you
thick are the
start
bars?
yanking at vines. Give me an athletics check.
Oh god, hold on. That should be fine. Actually, I'm like, man, Ruckus sucks. Oh, never mind.
You try.
That's
and
like
it's
one of the things he's good at too.
It's like, you know, when you like tie a knot in a certain way, but you can't get the knot undone, like you tied it too tight. That's how these vines are kind of reacting. Like they're so interwoven, and like you can get it done with a 7. It's just gonna take a little bit longer if you do it unassisted.
It's fine. Ruckus continues to comedically and frustratedly yank at vines.
Oh dear, should I help you?
Oh,
It's fine.
God.
It's fine. I got it. He says, yanking.
Are you sure? It's no trouble, really. I don't mind.
It's okay. I can't be defeated by vines. One of them snaps in his hand and he falls over.
Okay, oh dear. Alright, let me see if I can help you.
They're just still trying to go over the wall.
How big are these bars? Like, how wide between them?
Like how much space is there in between?
Yeah.
They're pretty obscured by vines, but you feel like you could definitely squeeze through. I mean, you have little pixie wings, so you could just fly right over the wall.
Yeah, she'd like to flitter on in.
Yep, you flitter on in. Dirge, you're trying to climb over. Give me an athletics check.
Yeah.
These walls aren't too tall, but they are taller than you.
I
Come on.
want to see if they have enough handholds I can even do it.
You guys can do it. Come on.
Oof, no.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, you just fall and eat dirt. There is no way to grip this. You would need like a ladder,
Land
or you
on
need to
top
like
of Ruckus.
you need to stand on someone's shoulders or something. But yeah, you're not
Bird pile.
with your bird wings. They're not so good for climbing, maybe.
What do you see over there, darling?
see over here?
What do you see over there?
Nothing but feathers.
You do
This is
see
Ruckus from the ground.
this huge. First off, you can tell that everything is in disarray. There's grass overgrown, and like obviously no one has maintained this place for a long time. You do see a huge fallen oak tree. As you get into this area, the overgrown path leading from the front gate splits into a crossroads. To the north, the path leads to the manor's front door, while to the east, it curls around the manor side. To the west, the path leads toward a collapsed building and an algae-choked pond before winding around the manor as well. The rotting trunk of a fallen oak tree lies across the crossroads, almost as if forming a barrier to those who would approach the manor, or perhaps to keep something within from traveling out.
They need a gardener, and there's trees falling over everywhere.
Well, I would assume as much. This area doesn't seem like the most habitable. Just wait for us for a moment, alright? We'll be with you soon.
You can help cut the vines.
Can I use
That's a very good point, actually.
Can I examine these vines to see if there's like a way that's easiest to cut through them?
Yeah, sure.
on.
Give me a nature check.
Bunch of garbage in his pockets that I forgot about.
Nature.
What's in your pockets?
So there's nothing especially special about these vines. They're just really thick and overgrown. The idea of just cutting your way through seems like a sound one.
Dirge starts to speak.
Yeah, you start to
She
peck
has
your way
nothing
through.
else.
I'm gonna pull a dagger off my necklace and start cutting the vines.
All right, you start cutting the vines, and after a little bit, you guys make your way through very easily.
See, that wasn't so hard with teamwork. You don't have to do everything alone.
Ruckus leans against the side of the thing, panting. He has struggled with vines.
Well, I say, after this we should retire and become gardeners. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, fun. Ruckus
He's lovely.
is menaced by vines.
Alright, let's see. Oh, you weren't kidding when they said they needed a gardener.
Mm. How old
As-
does this tree look?
It looks pretty old. It's pretty rotten and sort of disgusting. But as you guys approach this very closely to this tree, you noticed some wriggling. There's some activity inside the tree. In fact, there's a lot of activity, and there's lots of things as but let me hold on. It's being silly.
Uh-oh.
Did we activate a combat with worms?
Not with worms. But you did activate a combat with 2 centipede swarms as they immediately start rushing you guys.
That's a
Oh
worm.
goodness.
This is the problem with gardening. All the worms.
Ruckus makes the face on his icon.
Well, Dirge is in one of them.
Yeah, you sure are. So yeah, everyone to throw up your initiatives because they are immediately coming.
Oh, that's the wrong button.
I gotta click myself.
Yeah, just make sure you clicked yourself and should be able to hit the initiative button and it'll be fine.
Where is the
Good.
initiative?
I'm ready to fight Bug.
Pathfinder, please.
Initiative's on your first page. It's on the right side.
There we go.
Which thing are we using for it?
Just perception, since that's sort of the default unless you were doing, like, if you were stealthing before, then you would use stealth or some other thing, but...
I'm lost. I'm lost in Pathfinder steps, and oh, there it is. I found it.
You got it?
I got there.
Okay.
I got there.
Okay, so we have Phoebus, Dirge, the Centipede Swarms, Ruckus, and then Oleander. So, Phoebus, you're up.
Alrighty. I'm going to hit the one right in front of me with my rapier.
Okay.
With a smack.
So let me hold on. Having all this stuff open at the same time is okay. 15 is a 15 hit. No, a 15 actually doesn't hit this thing. You stab through and you
Goodness.
kind of hit all of the space in between the centipedes. But you don't really get any of them.
Oh dear.
And you have 2 actions left.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, so a reminder for how Pathfinder 2 works is you have 3 actions. You can do things interchangeably. You could move, attack, and then move, or you can attack 3 times at penalties, or you have options as far as things go. So,
Okay. I'll try attacking again, because I don't really quite know what we're up against just yet.
so make sure you hit that, so you want to hit the number 2 one.
Oh, the number two. Oh, pardon me.
Okay, so you use them all on attacks. Unfortunately, all of those miss.
Dang it.
And it is now Dirge's turn.
Oh, Dirge would like to get out of the swarm. What happens when Dirge tries to get out of the swarm?
So you are just like, you're just sort of in the swarm. As they envelop you, you actually take 8 points of damage.
All right.
And give me a fortitude save.
Okay, hold on. Save. I'll find them. Oh, I know why. That one. How'd I do?
Okay. So you are unfortunately infected with centipede venom.
Immediately.
Yeah, no, these guys are nasty. So you will take. Let's see. You take an additional 2 points of poison damage, and you are flat-footed.
Can I get out of the swarm?
Oh yeah, you totally can. Yeah, you can get out of there.
That was just 2 points?
Yeah, 2 points of poison damage.
Okay. Dirge would like to walk out of the swarm. Yeah, this thing's in my way. Hold on. It's the trouble. If I walk here. Can I walk here?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I would like to cast a spell with my last 2 actions.
All right, what spell do you want to cast?
Let's do some damage. I'm gonna cast Electric Arc.
Okay.
Ew, no.
Okay.
You know?
Ew, no.
As in bugs are coming. Okay, so they have to make a reflex save against that. They succeed,
need a
so
good
they take
bug
half that damage. But yep, it leaps to both groups. They both take 5.
All right.
All right, it is the it is the centipede swarm's turn. This one is going to rush the both of you, and this one is going to rush the both of you. So.
I see.
So let me.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Mistakes were made.
they're nasty.
I should have moved further.
The bird regrets.
Bird regrets.
Okay, let's see who they damage. Phoebus and Ruckus, you both take 4 damage.
Yeah.
Oof. And Dirge and Oleander, you both take 8. And everyone give me fortitude saves.
Hee.
Okay, Oleander, you're fine. Dirge, you are not fine. Phoebus, you are not fine.
God, Ruckus rolled a number? God damn, good job, Ruckus.
Put that on you. You're poisoned. Okay, so yeah, everyone is going to take some poison damage, except for Oleander. Okay, so you each only take, Phoebus and Ruckus, you take an additional 3 points of poison damage. Dirge, you take 1. You are now at poison 2. Oh boy, I put 11.
Hooray.
Hold on. And you are now also clumsy. And flat-footed. So there should be an option on your character sheet, like on the right side under conditions. You can just select clumsy, and that should take care of anything that does.
On the right side, you say?
Yeah, on the first sheet, you'll see conditions.
It's right above
Clumsy.
First page. And then just click clumsy. And
That's the only one? There is no... Oh, wait, I'm already flat-footed.
Yep, you are
Should I
still
click
flat-footed.
flat-footed?
Yes. Yeah, everyone who failed is flat-footed. Dirge is clumsy and flat-footed.
What does that do? My movements are inexact. Alright.
And you are clumsy 1. It should give you an option. So yeah, clumsy always includes in value. You take a status penalty equal to the condition to dexterity-based checks and DCs, including AC, reflex saves, range attack rolls, and skill checks. So, not great. So yeah, Ruckus, you are up.
Ruckus is up. Is Ruckus going to try to disengage from this, or is he just going to shoot it with his gun?
You have 3 actions, so you have many options.
It sounded like I didn't need anything special to disengage. I just walked away and it followed me.
So Ruckus takes a step back and he takes out his fucking blunderbuss and shoots at some centipedes with his gun. I click a button.
It just reminds me of the man in South America who hunted butterflies with a shotgun.
Listen, if you have a gun.
Okay, so which one is your... That definitely hits. Which one is your primary target? Because I assume you're going to do it in, like, a way to where you hit both groups. Because it's in, like, a 15-foot cone, right?
Yeah, it's like a cone, the blunderbuss. His primary target is the one he was in.
Yep, so you can focus it all on that. Basically, the way it works is, like, your main target takes the full damage, and then anything else that's in that cone takes splash damage. So if you aim it at both, you can do...
the blunderbuss. Yeah.
The blunderbuss. So just designate which one is getting the 5, and the other one's going to get 1, because that's your splash damage.
This guy, the one he was in is getting the 5.
All right, and then this one takes 1 from being in shotgun zone. Okay, you moved, and then you'll have to reload. And I believe that is your turn.
Yep.
Oleander.
Yeah, so we can just back out of these?
Oh yeah, you can leave. From what you can tell, they haven't done any attacks of opportunity yet, so you should be safe.
Awesome. Is it possible to feint against these guys?
I don't see why not.
I would like to do that. I think I have it set up. No. Okay, let's put what it does there.
Okay, you're within. Attempt a deception check against that opponent's perception DC. Okay, give me a perception check. Or deception. Against their perception DC. That is not enough. That is barely just not enough. So you don't critically fail, but you just barely fail.
Okay, well that's fine. I tried. I'll just stab them with my knife. Or my dagger. If I can. Nope.
14. Oh, so I'm glad I checked this sheet again. I'm gonna go back to Ruckus for a minute. Ruckus, as you shoot them with your blunderbuss, you don't just do damage, you do absurd damage, and it looks like your sort of area of effect gun attack is extremely effective against these things. Which means they've actually taken way more damage than... Hold on. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they take another... Nice. Okay.
Nice.
So they look... So we revert time a little bit, and they look infinitely worse than they did a second ago. Do you... Let's see how you moved, and then... Okay, so Phoebus.
Alright, I'm going to look at my spells super quick.
That's okay.
Okay. I'm going to cast Magic Missile on this centipede that is on top of me.
Okay. So clicking that should just roll the damage. Yep. Okay. Yep, you deal... So are you casting that as... So depending on how many actions you take to hit it, you can deal more damage. So how many... Basically, if you spend 1 action, you do 1 bolt. If you spend 2 actions, 2 bolts. If you spend 3, you do 3 bolts. So...
Okay, I'll do two then. 2 actions, and then I'm going to... Let me just take a look at what this is about.
Here, I'll roll you another 1d4 plus 1. Okay, so you deal 6 damage to this one.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then I'm going... Okay, I'm going to strum my little harp, and I'm going to use my Inspire Courage.
Oh, my cat enjoys that quite a bit. Okay, you and all allies in the area gain a +1 status bonus to attack rolls, damage rolls, and saves against fear effects. Okay. So yeah, if you start doing that, you're covered in bugs and you're strumming on your instrument. Dirge.
Hell yeah.
Unbothered by bugs.
They're
Don't
just
let it
very
bug
bothered
you.
by bugs. She's probably stumbling all over the place. I think he will... Can I run through the swarm back this... Should I run back that way? I'm gonna run for the trees.
Okay, sure. You start running for the trees. Also, I'm gonna have you do this, and then I'll have everyone who is poisoned retroactively do this.
Okay.
Make me a fortitude save to see if you can sort of lessen the effects of this poison. Okay, so with that, you're able to bring your condition down to just poisoned 1.
Okay. Do I take some damage at the start of my turn here?
No, it's just this is just to see you'll take damage if they enter your square, and then we'll do it like that. So you're no longer clumsy; you're just flat-footed now. And then
Okay.
Ruckus and Phoebus, go ahead and do. I should have mentioned this before. Go ahead and do your fortitude saves.
Ah, yes.
Alright,
So
one
you can
moment.
get rid of the flat-footedness.
Flip.
No.
No.
Nope.
It's on this part. Ooh, ooh.
Okay, yeah, Phoebus, you're good. You're no
Woohoo.
longer flat-footed until they get you again, which they might on their turn. Okay, so yeah, Dirge, go ahead and finish your turn.
Pardon me.
Dirge
you,
is still... Oh, oops.
Sorry, I was gonna say you kind of glitched out for me. What did you say?
What did I say?
Yes. What can I take off?
Oh, I was taking away the green dot for poison. You're able to resist its effects, and you're no longer flat-footed.
Excellent. All right.
Dirge is feeling kind of out of it, so she's gonna do something fancy, and she's going to make some pretty colors. I think I click that? There we go.
Splash of art. Let's see. Roll a d4 to determine the color of the illusion. White. Okay, and they must make a... Let's see. Da-da-da. Area.
Just don't
It's a
push back.
5-foot burst. Okay.
So I have to pick 5 feet? So... Or do I have to pick 5 feet before I move?
It's so you can basically you select wherever it's going to happen, and it's 5 feet from there.
Yeah, it can go right there.
Yep, so you just slap it right on that centipede swarm. Okay, so it's going to get blasted by color. It needs to make a will save. And it fails. Okay. Okay, so you rolled white, so it is dazzled. It is dazzled for 1 round. Okay.
Aha, look at all the twinkly lights.
Ooh, I'm a fan.
I'll remember that. Oh my goodness, hold on. Too many things are clicking. Okay. Alright, it is the Centipede Swarm's turn. This one is going to move forward, so it's encompassing both Phoebus and Ruckus. It has to... Ooh, okay. Oh boy, you know what? I sure did not read the fine print on this. Okay, both of you give me reflex saves.
What am I rolling?
For Ruckus and Phoebus, give me a reflex save.
Reflex. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you'll take... It turns out... well, I'll fix it after this fight. Okay, so you both take 7 piercing damage.
7?
Yeah, and give me fortitude saves.
One moment.
Okay, so Phoebus, you're now poisoned again. You take 2 poison damage. Ruckus, you take 1.
Oof.
And you're now poisoned 2.
How's everybody looking over there?
Not great.
Just covered in centipedes.
Covered in centipedes.
As a percentage of needs to heal, how's everybody looking over there?
I'm gonna raise my hand like, hello.
Only a smidge.
Alright.
Nice. There it is. I found it.
And let's see, the centipede swarm. Let's see. Let me double check something for him. Alright. It moves over into this way. Is going to try to sort of swarm over Oleander. Give me a reflex save. Okay, so you'll only take half of this damage. Okay, you only take 1. And give me a fortitude save.
Right. Oh, does Dazzle affect this at all?
No, it has senses that aren't based on sight, so it's still able to find you guys, I'm afraid. Alright, you take 2 poison damage, and you are flat-footed. Slap that green dot on you. Alright, Ruckus's turn.
Ruckus' turn.
I do have deny advantage. I don't know if that counts here or not.
Let's see, you're careful that you aren't flat-footed to hidden, undetected, or flanking
Well, it's not.
creatures.
Okay, never mind. It's from the poison. So yeah, it'd still be flat-footed.
Ruckus, give me a fortitude save. Oh, yeah, okay. You are...
A number.
All of that poison, bye-bye.
He done it.
You did it, so you're no longer, suffering any conditions.
I'm checking his crazy person inventory real fast. Alright, that's fine. Disengage. Place distance. Shoot centipede. No. Character sheet, come back. Ruckus, no.
So before you, so we have to remind you how the misfire thing works. You haven't
Yeah.
cleaned your weapon, so you get to give me a flat d20 first.
Okay. Bip.
Okay, that's still good, as long as it's over 5. So yeah, you can attack like normal and everything's good.
Bip.
Alright, 16 is not good enough to do any damage. These things are really mean. Then you'll reload. Oleander's turn. Give me a fortitude save.
Yeah.
Okay, so yep, your poison goes away, no big deal.
All right. See something. That would still be like within 30 feet. Yeah. I'm gonna use one of my my items.
What you gonna do?
I'm going to use my well, how did I put it in here? I didn't. Thing. I'm gonna use my cantrip deck. And I'm going to pull out electricity, electric arc to hit both of these guys.
Okay. You'll have to. Do you have the thing for that?
I will in 2 seconds. I'm gonna put it on the sheet.
Ah, electric arc. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's
High fives.
that's one of the magic items you can get. I think it's in the newest book they put out.
Yep, each one once.
Yep. Eventually, the sheet will open and it'll let me add this.
To cast a cantrip as a first level spell with a DC of 15 and the spell attack modifier +5. Card crumbles into dust after da-da-da. Okay, so it'll have to be...
The DC should be 15.
Yeah. So they have to make reflex saves, or this first one does anyway. It beats it, so it's going to take half that damage, so it just takes 1. The other one also takes 1. Did you want to do anything else?
I do. Because I moved, I did that. I'm gonna go ahead and... I think he's close enough here so I can throw my dagger to him. At him?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw the dagger at him.
13 is not good enough to hit, I'm afraid.
It disappears after
Into the
like a
swarm.
turn after her. No, like it literally disappears a turn after leaving her hand.
Oh, that too. Alright.
It doesn't exist.
Yep. Phoebus, give me a fortitude save.
Alright.
Unfortunately, it's not good enough. It doesn't get worse, but it doesn't get any better.
Goodness. Alrighty. I'm going to try and hang on. Let me just double check. Okay, I'm going
Ruckus
to
considers starting a forest fire.
yeah, I'm gonna cheese it a little bit and get some distance. And I'm gonna for my next thing. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to wrong thing. I'm going to do 2-action magic missile for my last 2 actions.
Okay, so roll me... It only ever rolls 1d4 plus 1 unless you go in and manually change it, so roll me another...
I did! It says 2-action.
No. So when you... Even though you're doing it as the 2-action version, it's still only actually rolled 1d4 plus 1. So...
Okay, so I gotta do another one?
Yeah, just roll me another d4 plus 1. Okay, yep, you deal 7 damage to that one.
Excellent.
And it's reduced to basically just a couple of centipedes left. And they decide to just scatter and get out of there. It ain't worth it.
Woohoo!
Ah.
Dirge's turn.
Electricity, you say?
Yep.
Let's do that again.
Yep, and I'll need a fortitude save from you.
Kaboom! Oh, okay, I'll do that now.
See if, Yep, you're good. You can take that green dot off. Okay, it means a reflex save.
And a big kaboom.
Yep, it just barely passes, but that's still 5 damage it takes, so... Takes 5 damage.
This... Oh, I didn't kill the bugs.
Did
Oof.
not kill the bugs. Did you want
What
to
if
move
I go-
anywhere?
Yeah,
You got an
yeah.
action left, so...
Phoebe, protect me.
Don't worry, I'm right here. He says as he's bleeding out.
The squishy spellcasters hide behind each other.
They're holding hands. They're like, "Don't worry, I'm with you."
Oh no.
Stabilize, you
Oh.
die.
Can I get... No, I can only get one of you.
Uh-oh.
Actually, you can get all the way over here. It's going to
Oh.
rush you guys, seeing as you're like more or less the easiest looking to eat right now.
Oh no, don't eat me. I'm
Give me
very
some
shiny.
give me some reflex saves.
Alright.
Okay, Dirge, you take 4 damage. Phoebus, you only take 2.
Okay.
And give me some fortitude saves.
Goodness
Right.
gracious.
Oh, it's a reflex.
Alright, Phoebus, you're good. Okay, you're both good. You do not accumulate any more poison that they bite into. You're kind of used to it by now. Ruckus'
is life.
turn. This is life now.
This is just the life we live in.
Well, at least I'll
Ruckus
make a
cons-
handsome corpse.
Ruckus continues to consider starting a forest fire, but is like, if I do that, they'll go up in flames too. Does he shoot bug? He probably has to shoot bug. Listen, all he has is his gun. He could try to start a forest fire. Hear me out. Alright, he's decided he won't try to set the centipede swarm on fire while 2 of
Yes,
his party
please
members.
don't. I may not look it, but I'm not fireproof.
We have it
he-
distracted.
He will, with his worsening gun, fire into the swarm that his friends are covered in.
All right, give me a d20 roll first. See if you misfire. Yeah, you're good.
Great. Gun. Go. Nope.
Yeah, unfortunately, 13's no good. All right.
Damn. That's rough.
He's gonna start a forest fire.
Can we flank these things?
Yeah,
I don't know. Can you
If I
flank
move
a
here,
swarm?
would they be
We're-
flanked?
I will double check, but I believe it doesn't have any immunities to being flanked. No, it does not have immunity to being flanked.
If I move
I don't.
here,
Hey, we
can
are
I flank
distracting it.
Since I can draw a line here.
Yeah.
Remind me what flanking does in Pathfinder 2.
It's just a -2 to AC.
Nice.
Same with flat-footed. A lot of those things kind of are combined now.
Yeah.
Oh, he was. He didn't. He was still flat-footed, and it was fine.
She
It's
has that
whatever.
necklace of little tiny stone daggers, and when she pulls one out, it becomes a big dagger. So
Smush.
she can try to stab it.
Ooh, even with the flat-footed, yeah, 10's no good.
And I think I can. I know I moved and I stabbed, but I think I can take one more.
Yeah, you can use your second attack to stab. There you go. That would have hit anyway. Alright, so let's see.
And they're flat, but they get that sneak attack.
Yep, sneak attack. Does sneak attack count as precision damage by chance? Or what kind of... Or is that just more piercing damage?
Let's see.
That magical ghost touch dagger, huh?
Oh, no, every attack she does is.
Yeah,
Deal an extra
that's
1d6
what I
precision
figured.
damage. Alright, so yeah, you start stabbing into it, and you're able to get a couple, but it doesn't seem like it's very effective anyway. Phoebus' turn. Give me a fortitude save.
Alright.
Okay, you're no longer the poisoned.
Yahoo!
Or flat-footed.
Alrighty, I'm going to just start swinging. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, unfortunately all of those do miss. You're not flanking with anyone, so...
Goodness.
Yeah. Dirge's turn. Give me a fortitude save.
Alright. And there should be +1 on this, I think. Because of that thing earlier.
Mm-hmm. That's a fortitude save. So yeah, you're good.
Looks at Phoebe.
Hello.
I could try to kill it, or I could try to make you live, make us both live.
Honestly, I'd say go for it. Try and take it down, darling.
Okay.
You can do it.
Ruckus is gonna start burning things.
Please don't.
Electric art.
Alright, reflex save for that. It passes, so they take 5 damage, which is still pretty good.
It's still pretty good. Oh boy.
Yep, it's still up. So it's turn. It doesn't see a reason to move, so it's just gonna
I
try
have one more action.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna stay here.
Okay.
We go down together.
Okay. So they're gonna start swarming you guys again. Give me your reflex saves.
Alright.
Okay. Phoebus, you take 2 damage. Dirge, you take 4. And give me fortitude saves. Alright, Dirge, you're good. Phoebus, you take 4 poison damage, and you're now flat-footed. And that is all it's gonna do.
The boy.
Yeah, you see
Oh,
your
boy.
teammates being swarmed by centipedes. They're trying to fight them off, but gosh, man, there's just still so many.
Ruckus wonders how flammable centipedes actually are.
Do you have a means to light them on fire?
He has an ever-burning torch.
That might
He
work.
also has a flint and steel that could catch a tree on fire.
Let me
Just
double
sit at the
check.
edge of the swarm of centipedes with like a little light. It's just like tink, tink.
Listen,
Tink.
he's next to a fallen tree. He
Yeah.
can snap a branch off of that, set that shit on fire, and hurl it into the midst of the pile. But
Yep.
there are friends in there.
Don't burn me. I'm very attractive. I can't rock burn scars.
Ruckus considers whether or not he accepts that argument.
So I'll say that so it wouldn't immediately light the whole area on fire. It would take a second. Like throwing fire at centipedes would still do damage. I would just say just give me like a basic like unarmed attack roll because you're just throwing it, and then
Yeah.
it would just do like a d6 of fire damage.
Watch him light everything on fire. He doesn't roll great. Yeah, he shoves his blunderbuss under his armpit and lights a branch on fire and is like, alright, I'm gonna burn down this courtyard if I have to. Let's go. Ah.
Okay. Yep. 18 is good enough. Roll me a d6.
Bip.
Okay. Yep. You chuck a thing of fire into the group of them and deal 4 damage, and they're looking much worse now.
And also, there's probably gonna be a problem later, but you know what?
Yeah.
He's willing to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, crispy little critters, how lovely.
He's like, this wouldn't be the biggest fire I've caused. It's fine.
Don't worry, we're professionals.
Okay. Was
How
that
many
the end of
fires
your
have you
turn?
caused?
Huh?
Was that the end of
What
your
is-
turn?
Yeah, he's not doing anything else.
What is the biggest
No.
fire?
Oh,
He-
like, of the cantrip deck?
No, that he's caused. What's the biggest
Oh.
fire?
Ruckus kind of looks up at the start and is like, "What do you mean?"
Well, you said it's not the biggest fire.
Eh.
Blinking.
Ruckus is nuts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you hit that. You hit it. You just start stabbing. Let me double check. Is that? It's not. You know what? You're flanking, so that is a crit. Just barely. And yeah, as you get in, you see the centipedes like flinging around in the fire, and your eyes sort of focus in for a moment, and you just start stabbing them out of the air until there's so few left that they don't really matter anymore, and they just like sort of melt away back into the ground. And
Oh,
combat
barbecue.
is over.
There they go.
Wow.
Fantastic job, everyone. We stopped bugs.
We started a fire. Ruckus like kind of casually walks over and takes his coat and starts flapping out the fire.
They killed some beautiful little creatures.
Indeed.
Now gather round, and I will call upon my god to heal us all.
Please.
Okay. I don't quite know how this healing burst thing is supposed to work.
Ruckus
Just click
sits on
the
his
spell
butt.
and it'll tell you.
Yeah.
It'll show up in the chat. Yeah, it's basically you spend 3 actions to do it, and it heals a certain amount, whatever it says.
First level or second level?
Oh,
Ruckus sits
also,
on his
so I
butt.
kind of fudged up something there. So the
Mhm.
entire time you're supposed to make reflex saves against their bite attacks to like have the damage. So just for free, because I fucked that up, everyone gets 10 hit points back for free. So it's probably about what you
Ooh.
would have avoided. So I was like, man, why is this? They're not supposed to die so quickly. Why is this
yeah.
fight so hard? And then I looked and I was like, that's why. They don't just
I took,
take
like,
the damage; they can resist it a little bit. So everyone
I
gets
took, like,
10
8 in
free.
my first.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still gonna heal everybody with.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is a tough first combat.
Let's try a small heal, see what happens.
A little healy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're just casting it as a first level spell. So it does.
Yes.
Okay, so roll me a d8.
I thought that was what the damage was.
Oh, it sure is up there. Okay, yeah, everyone
It
gets
does- Everybody gets 3.
Yep, everyone gets
Doesn't
3.
seem like the abilities put on
That
there
is
though.
not much.
Oh,
Um,
I'll
look at the
take it. I'm
macro,
not complaining.
it doesn't look like the spellcasting abilities put on there.
I don't think it's supposed to be. I think it's
Did I
just a
not put a
d8.
modifier on it? Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and as you cast it at higher levels, you get more. And if you channel it as a beam, it does
Oh.
even more. And then, yeah.
Yeah, if you use the
Awesome.
2-action version, you can heal one person for more.
So the lower level doesn't do whiz anymore.
hmm
That's neat.
Yeah, that encounter was more or less as powerful as you guys, and we are playing with XP in this adventure, because it definitely matters. So you each get 80 experience points. In the top right of your first sheet, there should be an area for experience points. As soon as
That's
you
a
get to
big
1,000, let me know, and that's when you level up. You level up every 1,000. Any points you have carry over, so if you'd end up with 1,001, you'd start with 1 again after the level up.
What
You
is...
betcha.
Does anyone want me to heal again? Because I could use more health for myself, and I think Phoebus can use more health too.
A little bit of a top up would be lovely, dear.
Okay.
Yeah, are you two okay? You were covered in bugs.
Yep.
I was. It wasn't pleasant.
Yeah,
Wasn't
bugs suck.
experienced
Ruckus
in-
sitting in a pile of charred centipede carcasses.
Dirge is just
Darling, please
sighing.
get
"Ah,
out of those.
we
You're
were
not
one
doing
with
yourself any
nature.
favors.
We were one with nature. Whatever it is, I know. Did I roll better? No, I rolled worse. Okay.
It's fine.
It's fine.
now we
Everyone
know
gets
that
2 back.
Now we know that first level heals are worth nothing.
Ruckus is
they're
at
good
Oh,
at
I'm almost
first
popped
level,
up, so
but-
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruckus is at full.
I'm at full too.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. I'm at 10 less than full, so we're just gonna live like that for a while.
Yeah, you were rough. You got roughed up there, buddy. Yep, make sure everyone add in your experience points, because I'm not going to keep track of your total. Just make
Did
sure
you
you're
write
all...
down how many it is?
Yeah, you all get 80.
80.
And it'll be on your character sheet. It's up at the top. It's right under deity.
Oh, I've been given it.
Yep.
Alright.
All right, you've bested that challenge. You're free to do whatever.
Ruckus stands out and gets out of his horrible pile of centipede carcasses.
I feel like
Starts
communing with
walking around.
nature. I feel like communing with nature in a more positive way. Let's take this path and go look around.
All right, lead the way.
Tell Dirge to lead the way, but Ruckus is already like, I'm looking around.
I think I
Since-
will let Ruckus lead the way.
Since I'm small, could I sneak and hide in one of their cloaks?
Yeah, go for it.
What is this thing?
You come across this little pond. All right, you are stealthing. I'll make a note of that.
Whose
A
cloak can I
winding
hide in?
trail, once perhaps a neat gravel path, but now just a slightly less overgrown swath of dry grass, leads down to this roughly oval-shaped pool. Thick patches of reeds grow on the pool's shores, and the water looks opaque with sheets of algae and lily pads. Yet there's no sign of insect or amphibian life. Near the pool center stands a 5-foot-wide mossy stone platform supporting a rusty iron sphere, measuring about 3 feet across. Rotting wood pilings jut out from the water between this platform and the west shore, suggesting a footbridge might have once allowed access to the platform from land.
I wonder if they used to fish here.
Oh, real quick, whose cloak can I hide in?
You can sit on my shoulder, darling.
Hooray!
Ray.
You have a choice between a colorful bird and a crazy man.
The colorful bird.
Bird.
The crazy man has crazy person stuff in his pockets, so I wouldn't risk it.
Dirge has bones in her
Ignite a
pockets.
bomb.
I wouldn't risk the crazy man's pocket.
Well, we've
Is there
communed
anything
with this
weird in the
nature.
water? We didn't commune with the nature. Is there anything weird in the water?
Give me a perception check.
Oh. Crazy person perception check, here it comes.
Are
If I
there
can
ookity boogities in the woven?
Find the fucking button.
It's on the right side of your sheet.
To find
Perception is its own thing. 8.
I see a cloak.
May I take a look?
I found bones.
Yeah, anyone can look.
All right, let's see.
They're just looking the other way.
Okay.
They're just done with this.
Yeah, so you guys don't really notice anything out of the ordinary.
Percepted.
Phoebus, as you guys are sort of kind of wandering around this pool, you do notice there's something is a little... the color is close to the mud at the bottom, but something is a little bit off, and as you're sort of like up and around here, looking around, and as you look down, you see an eye open up in the mud.
Oh my. I believe we might have company.
Yeah, you
No.
see more eyes start to form on it as it rapidly starts approaching you. You
Oh,
get
different nature.
Perhaps we should back up.
yeah. I will give you one action to do something in response to this thing coming at you.
Let's just back up a smidge. I do believe something's coming out very fast.
Yep, and as you guys back up, the water gets more violent, and out of the ground comes this pile of disgusting flesh with mouths and eyes and tongues and teeth, and it just starts like at you.
Pardon us.
Oh,
Pardon us. We're just passing through.
is it following?
It's let me double check something.
Does it have a land speed?
It does, yeah, it does start coming towards you guys.
I know what it is.
You know what it is. As
Yeah.
it sort of blasts at you, one sort of word starts to stand out. Jakath, Jakath, and it's coming at you guys.
Hmm.
Well then.
Can we keep backing up?
Yeah, you can yeah. If you don't, it's gonna get you. So
Just no thanks.
you guys can
No
engage
thanks,
with this
actually.
with how you want.
Ah.
Let's see how I
Everyone
can
quietly
handle
like, wonder how far it will fall.
We're just speed walking.
Can I cast a spell while we're walking? Or would
Yeah,
that
you
make it
as you're
deadly?
running, it gets to about this point. Go ahead and cast your spell.
Okay. I'd like to cast that pretty light spell.
Okay, cast the pretty light spell.
I'm gonna cast Splash of Art, see what it does.
So this is a focus spell, right?
I've been communing with nature for like 10 minutes now. We walked around,
Fair
you
enough.
know, appreciating the world.
That makes sense to me. Okay, it needs to make a will save. Meets it beats, so so yeah, you splash it with lights and it doesn't really seem to be affected by anything. But as it gets this far, it sort of makes like a grumbly sound at you, and it starts kind of making its way back to its pond.
All right, duly noted. Leave the water
Left
be.
its aggro zone.
Well, it wasn't impressed enough to stick around for the pretty lights, but it went away.
Well,
What? There was something
good.
out there?
Good job.
She pokes her head out. She didn't see anything. What?
There was some sort of local.
It was made of
And
flesh and eyeballs.
Oh.
we all are, dear. It wasn't too pleased that we were here, so we left.
It did
I
surrender
do
when
suggest we go.
walked away. So, you know.
Less of a surrender, more of a goodbye, good riddance.
Oh,
I say we go the other way next time.
You mean the other side of the house?
Yeah, probably. Though, knowing our luck, we'll run into someone else.
Exciting.
Very comfortable with
Exciting.
others.
Exciting.
Alright. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
As they slow stroll around, Ruckus is gonna clean his fucking gun.
I wonder if there's anything interesting in these woods.
I wouldn't test it.
Okay.
We're here for the house, not the surrounding garden.
Ruckus, not paying attention, bumps into Phoebus every time he stops.
Phoebus is like so used to it, he doesn't even mind. He's not even gonna
Ruckus-
comment on it. He's just
Ruckus
like, oh.
is like cleaning his gun as they go, and he's like, if I just keep the glowy part in my peripheral vision, I won't lose track of everybody. And he rams headfirst into Phoebus every time Phoebus stops walking.
Are you quite alright, dear?
Yeah, I'm good. He says,
Alright.
struggling.
Let me know if you need any help.
Well, the path ends here. I mean, it goes to the house, but we can't go around the whole house. What now?
So yeah, you can go around, this way, or you can go in here.
Well, shall we take a peek inside?
Sure.
All right. Everyone hold still. I have to. Oh God.
Picking in this part of the house?
Yeah. Hold on. I think.
Or-
I think Phoebus disappeared because he moved when I was trying to
Oops.
move you guys. Hold on.
It's fine.
Whoop.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, what? It's another map for this side of the house?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Or not Phoebus. Who disappeared? Oh no. There you are. Okay. Everything's fine. I thought someone disappeared. Okay. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. If it'll let me reveal the area, oh my God. Sometimes it takes a minute.
Spookums, we need to get up and close.
Sorry, it's taking a little longer. My mouse is just bugging out. Okay,
You can do it. I believe in you.
I can. Alright, as you guys make your way sort of closer into the house,
Oh.
Just gonna wait for the
Oh,
map
there's
to
a gate
look.
here.
There we go.
yep,
Well-
you guys find yourself right here.
We're sized.
Interesting.
Hmm. How's this
The gate
fence
is
looking?
open.
So it's open there, but it looks like as you approach the fence, it's actually rusted shut.
Ruckus
All
pulls
right.
a dumb move.
Nope.
Wanders. He's gonna wander on up to the gate and kick it. No. Yes. Kick it.
Sure. Give me a. If you're gonna try to force it open, give me an athletics check.
Yeah. Oh. You know what? That's fine.
I mean, you can also just kick it to kick it, but if you're trying to open it, then that's a roll.
Yeah, he's trying to open it.
Because it's all fucked up.
All right, Ruckus. Are you gonna be the
Yeah.
comedy boy?
Oh,
my God,
you
you're
are.
not.
Your inner stress. You feel like one of your feathers is about to fall out, but no, not this time. You just kick it open. It swings open and like the door just falls off its hinges onto the ground.
Ah, there we go.
Well done, darling. You've been working out, haven't you?
She pokes the gate as she goes by.
Ruckus looks over,
hear the
looks
sound.
at the door, looks at the gate, is like, I do that all the time.
It goes ting 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 when Dirge pokes it.
It do that. It do. What is this?
As you enter this area, 3 partially ruined wooden benches surround a dry fountain in the middle of this fenced-in garden. The fountain features what looks like 5 ravens perched on the edges, but each of their heads has been broken off. 2 small trees grow to the east, while to the west a huge patch of blackberries and thistles thrive. Also, to get a sense of where north is this way. North is left.
Right.
Were the heads broken off on purpose, or does it just look like, it's just like damage, like wear and tear?
Give me a perception check.
All right,
Dirge-
Ruckus. Use your
Dirge is
big
also
strong
perceived.
brain.
Dirge also perceive.
Perceive.
She picks up a head and looks at it sadly. because those are her people.
Yeah, there's
Someone
you
here
are
hates-
able to
someone
find
here
one
hates
head.
birds.
The rest of the heads are probably blasted into little tiny pieces. But yeah, it looks like this was done very meticulously. If it was just stone, they wouldn't have fallen off. Someone smashed these things with, angry intent.
Ruckus looks at Dirge.
Aw, poor little birdies. She's
It's okay,
stroking one.
dearest. They couldn't feel it.
Also, everyone give me a will save.
Oh dear.
Fantastic.
Someone made this beautiful thing, and then someone else destroyed it. Or maybe the same person. You never know.
I know, dear.
Okay. Ruckus, as you guys are kind of looking over this fountain, you get like a weird, unfamiliar feeling that sort of encompasses you, almost like it's not your own thoughts. You have this sense of pride over, like, man, this was made really well. Like, whoever made this did such a good job, and the ravens looked really cool when they were, fully intact. You have a strange sense of satisfaction that someone was like really annoyed by these ravens, so much so that they decided to break them open. But as you sort of start to explore that feeling, it's gone.
Ruckus like, that wasn't mine. I don't understand art.
You get that on the highest will save, huh?
Yes, on the lowest will save. Who got the lowest? Oleander, you got the lowest will save.
Yeah.
As you get a look at this, it feels weird. You feel scared. You feel betrayed at the sight of these headless ravens. You really wanna smash where the heads were before. But before you're able to really act on that impulse, the feeling passes from you as well.
Well, that's bizarre.
And this place is super haunted.
Indeed. We
Oh?
seem to be
Doors.
having very, very conflicting feelings.
Spooky.
I wonder if that's the influence of two other spirits.
How dreary.
Oh, I do hope they're not arguing amongst themselves in there. That would make this a little bit tricky, wouldn't it?
Look through window. Look.
Yeah, you look through the window.
Oh, wait. Hold on, is that window broken?
Yes, so as you notice, this window is broken. This is a door. The rest of these are windows. So I'll reveal one thing at a time here. So first off, as you approach these windows, give me, everyone who's looking through a window, so I guess maybe Dirge and Ruckus specifically, give me perception checks.
Oleander's still hiding in the cloak, so.
Big, strong Ruckus brain.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah,
All
No, I
right,
can't.
Ruckus, you don't really notice, but Dirge, you get as you kind of look through this window, you notice that there's almost like a layer of something on the window. It's not like dust or anything. It's almost like slimy looking, but when you feel it, it doesn't really feel like anything.
Oh, what a strange
so-
residue.
Is it on
Can
the
I scrape
outside
it
or
off?
inside of the window?
Yeah, outside the window. All the windows are closed except for the one that's broken on the other side of this garden. So yeah,
Can
you
I
look...
scrape it?
Yeah, you can try and scrape it.
Ruckus is like, it's like frosted glass or something.
Scrape.
No, dear, that would be for a bathroom exclusively.
Huh.
Scrape.
All right, you
Okay.
you try to scrape at it. Let me double check something real quick.
It's the Tengu claw.
Try not to break anything. We're not here to destroy the house, remember?
Is that fire lit?
Ruckus considers this strongly.
Ruckus.
What? Huh.
No.
Now what?
No breaking things.
I didn't even do nothing yet.
You were giving that look.
I think if we see anything like worth preserving, we can break it if it's like a piece of a statue and we can't take the whole thing. We'll be
We're not
fine.
gonna break statues.
But no,
My
but only if
goodness.
we- no,
We're
only-
ghost hunters, not
only if
art
it's-
thieves.
Well,
Everyone in this house is dead. They don't
What if-
need it.
What if the
It's
ghost?
history.
What if the ghost is in the statue and we have to break the statue to kill the ghost?
Well, that is
Oh.
that is a situation that we will face if and when it happens.
What if
Otherwise,
everything here is
we're not.
haunted?
Look, we're not going in here willy nilly breaking things. We're
No,
not
see, that,
ruffians.
no, I
We're
can't do that.
professionals.
I can't just break things willy-nilly. I need to preserve them. So
Exactly,
the ghost
thank
cannot
you.
get them like those. And she points at the raven heads. We need to
I can
save them
break
from
stuff.
the ghosts.
And besides, if we do a good enough job, people could perhaps move in here once again.
I can break haunted stuff.
Restore the building? That'd be lovely.
Ruckus makes the face on his eye.
So yeah, you, Dirge, as you kind of try to like scrape away at the slimy, it sort of reacts to you. It doesn't feel especially great. You're getting some negative vibes from this thing, but nothing else really happens.
Oh.
Phoebus, you're
I'm getting
sort of
vibes.
out and about. Give me a perception check.
All right.
See
Giving
if we can big strong Phoebus brain.
with my big beautiful eyes, I'm looking around.
Yeah, you notice, you hear the flap of wings behind you as several birds are sort of perched on this fence that you guys came in. You don't really know exactly when they got there. They came in pretty quietly when you guys were distracted. And as you look around, you notice there's a lot of birds around, actually. You sort of take a step
Oh.
back and you're able to get an angle sort of on top of the house, and it is just covered in birds. Like, a
Oh my.
weird number of birds.
Before
Gentlemen?
we're attacked by birds.
Lady, should we go inside?
Can
Yes.
we? I was trying. So before we get attacked by birds or go inside, can I read aura on this window?
Can you
See
read
if there's-
aura on this
see if-
window?
See if there's magic.
Yeah.
What magic it is.
Yeah.
I'm
you
assuming
can-
it is magic.
I have a question that is for the group. Has this group been
Yes.
traveling together, or did they converge to come to this house?
I
Like,
believe you guys
do
are.
they know each other?
Yeah.
I think we know each other.
Yeah, you guys have been doing
Okay.
this for a little while. You've successfully exorcised a few ghosts here and there,
Mhm.
so you have like an
We
idea
raided
of
a
what you're
tomb.
doing. Yeah.
I just wanted to establish the level of familiarity going.
Yeah, you guys have been. We'll say you guys have been together for at least a few months. If you've known each other longer than that, that's up to you. But you've been traveling and hanging out.
Alright.
We're pals.
Did a tomb, rob some graves.
Yeah. Don't make jokes.
What did I say?
What?
Don't.
Gosh, what
So-
kind of... So, I'll tell you that it is magic, but it's not
Mhm.
a kind of magic you recognize.
I don't get to learn the school of magic of the window.
There is no school of magic for whatever this is.
Oh, it's
What?
ectoplasm.
That's off. That's off the beaten
It's
flight.
so it is a little magical. Give me, since you're here, give me an occultism check.
Ooh, I know occultism.
Oh God! Ruckus can do that.
I can
Occultism
I
might
don't
help
know
with
occultism.
occultism might help with ghost stuff. Ooh.
Yes, this is the one thing he's good. This is the one thing he's good at.
As
I'm
you,
super distracted by these birds.
that makes sense. Yeah, there's just a shit ton of birds. It's weird how many birds there are. So yeah, Ruckus and Dirge and Oleander. Yeah, you guys know what's up. This is a haunt. It is sort of magical, but this is also just a spooky sort of just ghost thing that's happening. It's not so much a monster or a creature as it is an effect of something that happened here, and this is what's left behind. Sometimes it's phantasms that make spooky things happen. Sometimes it's illusions. Sometimes it's stuff like this. You don't know exactly what the function of this thing is, but you definitely know that it's a haunt. And you haven't seen anything quite like it before.
Wow, this is way more haunted than those other graves we burned.
It'll be fun.
Honestly, it's like
He
herding
moves
cats.
to another window.
Yep, you look
We're
through.
being watched. You know that, right?
Yeah. Kind of just like, yeah, birds.
Are
He
they
says like
crows?
he's not a bird.
What are the birds?
Door unlocked?
Did you ask what are the birds?
Yeah, what are the birds?
What kind of birds? Give me a nature check. See if you recognize what kind of bird these are.
They're
think
crows
Ruckus
and I
even
don't
has
recognize them.
these.
I'll be very disappointed.
It is also very obvious to everyone now that there are just a shit ton of birds, like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, but more than that.
Yeah.
More than
You know what?
that?
Yeah, Dirge, you know about
Let's-
birds.
For fun. Nope. Ruckus.
These
nothing.
are whippoorwills, known for going
Oh.
whippoorwill.
Oh.
They are not known for gathering in such huge numbers. They're kind of solitary birds. I mean, they like team up to mate, but they don't like hang out with other birds much.
Well, they're just gonna wave at the birds.
You wave at the birds, and they just sit there like birds.
Like horrifying birds
Yeah,
watching.
they don't. After looking at them for a second, they look like they're just hanging out. It's not like their eyes are focused on you or anything like that. They're just sitting
they're
on
just
this
chilling.
house. Yeah, they're just chilling.
Are they known to be any kind of like are they part of the family of birds that are like death like death omens or whatever? I don't remember if whippoorwills are part of that family of birds.
That's
Okay.
a religion check.
Oh, you guess who can do that too? Alright, yeah, Ruckus will attempt to passively think about birds. Use your big strong brain. He won't. He doesn't care. He does not care about these birds. What's in this window?
Oh, you want to know things about birds and religion, huh?
Okay,
God,
Dirge. Yeah.
Dirge is a big strong bird brain.
I know birds.
Okay, so as the question comes up, hey, do these birds have anything to do with any sort of death, anything, or any religion, anything? Dirge, you remember that there are these birds called Nisoi. They're kind of like ravens, but not. They're psychopomps. They're sort of workers for Pharasma, the goddess of undeath, more or less, or death, not undeath. They don't like that one bit. And as you kind of look around, you notice that the statues, the bird statues, they sort of fit more in line with Nisoi. They're not like ravens or whippoorwills. They are this very specific kind of bird, and you know they're missing their heads, but you can kind of tell that that's what they are. Is they're these psychopomp things.
Oh. Oh, this place was spooky before it even became haunted.
What gave you that hint?
Oh, someone was making a shrine to a psychopomp, maybe.
Oh, I have more
Oh.
boneyard. Would that work for psychopomp stuff?
Yes.
Because she was dead. She went there.
So yeah, so you know everything about psychopomps actually, or at least the basic thing. So I will just copy and paste the description for you.
Ooh.
Psychopomps are guardians and shepherds of the dead native to the boneyard, the vast plain of graves where mortal souls are judged and sent on to their eternal rewards or damnations. Psychopomps ensure that the dead come to terms with their transition from mortality and are properly sorted into the appropriate afterlife. They also protect souls from being preyed upon by supernatural predators. Nearly all psychopomps wear masks, especially when they're likely to be interacting with mortals. Although the types of masks they wear are as varied as the psychopomps themselves, the courts of the Boneyard preside in Requiem, a somber yet melodic language spoken only slowly with various tonal shifts. So they're like little mini Grim Reapers, basically.
Little babies.
Mm.
There's little
That
bird.
is a
So,
question.
oh,
That is a question I had for you. I had a language, and I wasn't sure it would be good for that. Since she's been there, could that be something she knows?
Sure.
Hey,
Nice.
so if those
Language
heads have been
obtained.
broken off, that means that someone has removed the protection.
Oh yeah, someone wanted to keep the psychopomp, so it all makes sense.
That's why this place is so damn haunted.
Hmm.
Well, interesting.
Let's see, through this window, Ruckus, you see what looks like a library. There's lots of like books and stuff on the walls.
Neat. I assume the broken window is also into the library then. I assume because there's probably one big room.
Oh yeah, you also look into the broken.
Ruckus is checking the windows.
Yeah, you're able to see that.
Oh, library.
Ruckus, as you
The broken window. He activated a monster,
Well, as you look through the broken window, you sort
as
of
I knew he would.
you
But
sort
that's
of
okay.
you sort of see something kind of pass by, and then it sort of goes again out of sight. Comes back over here, looks at something on the shelf for a moment, then disappears back again behind the bookshelf.
Is it a ghosty?
Oh, it looks super like a ghosty.
Ruckus.
It was
is
just
gonna,
bones and red mist.
Ruckus is gonna use his big strong brain.
Incorporeal undead lore. Okay, let me check this thing.
Ruckus
Let's see how much you know. 15.
has a brain in there.
He does.
He can use it. It's
It's
rattling
rattling.
around. It is. It's rattling. It's rattling and it's full of dust, but it's in there.
In there.
It's made of all of his molted feathers.
Hold on. I
You
need a
don't
thing.
remember the specifics about this, although some of it is sort of obvious. These are vampiric mists. Think like vampires, but in mist form.
That's no good. Ruckus, did you see anything?
We got vampire mist in the library.
Damn, alright. Well, did anyone see anything else moving around? Or it's just the one?
The question is, are we going to jump into action? Is this our moment?
Well, the window's open and we've been talking this whole time. I think we've alerted the entire house by now.
But you know these dead things. They're on their loops, and until you disturb the loop, they'll just keep doing it, even if you're, making
True,
noise.
but if some of them are more powerful, they're more aware. And likely, if this place is such a hotspot of activity,
Scooting.
it's likely we've at least alerted one or two.
Well, we alerted the birds. Looks at the birds.
Yes.
Yes, I am a bit wary of those.
Where are you going, bud? Do you live in the library or do you leave it?
The spooks reminded me of
library.
something. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
That scene from Ghostbusters.
Oh. Dirge is gonna rummage around in her stuff and pull out a talisman that wards against magic. And I don't think I have it written down, but I'm gonna just read off. The first time of the day the ally attempts a saving throw against a spell or haunt, they gain a +1 circumstance bonus to the roll. The bonus increases to 2 if you're an expert in oh, that's me. So if you get a +2 circumstance bonus to save against a spell or haunt, whatever that is. Who thinks they'd like this?
Maybe keep a hand on that for now.
I have to give it to somebody. It keeps you safe.
I think Ruckus is the tank of this party.
Yeah, perhaps we should hold on to that.
Here, Ruckus. It's this bundle of feathers and gross stuff. You take that.
He makes a face at it and then sticks it in his pocket.
Oh,
He
please,
looks
like
at
you've
it and
not
it's like,
touched the worst.
Yeah, like he looks at it like, and then shoves it into his pocket. He's like, all right.
There you go. So, I don't know, make a note somewhere. First time you save against a spell,
Cool.
you get +2.
We'll put it in his crazy person pockets.
Well then.
Oh.
We could also continue communing with nature out there. Maybe. Unless the birds stop us.
Well, they haven't acted yet.
Nope, they've just been
Okay.
hanging out.
Or we could open the door.
We could.
Yep.
It might be worth seeing if the door is warded. 'Cause if
Ruckus
it's
is
been
gonna flip a
closed,
coin.
that means no one's used this door yet.
Well, I already checked in. This place is definitely a spook that isn't magic, so I don't think we're,
Well, you checked the window, dearest.
Alright,
What's
door.
the
Ruckus-
1d2 for?
Ruckus flipped a coin.
Oh.
What? For window.
All right, we're going in.
Door.
All right, you
Oh,
try to open
oh.
the door and it's locked.
I can unlock it.
Oh,
Ruckus, who was getting ready to kick the door, is like, oh, okay.
Okay, give me a thievery check to open the door.
Yes, because I have my thieves' tools.
That's right.
since
16. Yeah, you try to open it, but you just can't get it.
Perhaps a foot key is in order. Ruckus?
What's the state of the door?
It's pretty old. It's a wooden door. It looks okay. It's definitely taken some water damage over time from, no one really tending to this place. It's kind of old.
Alright.
Breaking through is always an option as well.
If you want to be loud, okay.
But yeah, it looks like the lock might be a little too rusted for you to get in that way.
Well, if they didn't react to us opening the gate, perhaps they won't react to us opening this door.
Should have just kicked down the
That's true.
gate, and he's like, we could break another window. He says, like, that isn't also loud.
there's something spooky about the windows that might resist that. I don't know.
I don't know. That window's broken. I could slip in and go around and unlock it.
You'd have to be careful. I believe Ruckus saw something wandering around in there.
Yeah, blood mist.
Did you want?
That's not
Well,
what they're called.
I mean,
but
we're
it's what he
right
said
here.
out
If you sneak in there and your stealthiness doesn't work, we're right here to support you. I guess that is an option.
Would you need me
loud.
to
Might be
reroll
other
stealth?
entrances. But there might also be other monsters in the yard.
So what? Sorry, what's the question? Who needs to roll for what?
Would you need me to reroll stealth? I've been hiding in the cloak for a while.
Yeah, if you're gonna leave and go somewhere else, I would have you reroll stealth.
Either way. Do you want to kick the door?
Yeah, I want to kick the door.
All right, give me an
Ruckus wants to
athletics.
kick the door.
Give me an athletics
Ruckus
check.
wants to kick the door. Let's see. All right, Ruckus, use your big strong feet.
Okay, that is. I'll say that's good enough. Give me just a sec.
Loosened it for you.
Good enough for this
Give me a
trap.
sec to materialize 8 ghosts.
Yeah.
Only 8. Nah.
Oh no, every square in that room is a ghost.
It was all ghost all along.
And every ghost
The
belongs
entire
to a-
house is ghost.
Happy Halloween. But
Ah!
We've already established it's a house that is made of ghost.
it's all
Yeah.
ghost.
The house is a ghost. This house died years ago.
So as you kick down the door, for a half second, this sort of like oily, rubbery, plasma-y, gross substance that was on the door pops like a bubble. It pops on all the windows. You see it pop all over the whole house, and a wave
Oh.
of energy just hits you all. And
Mhm.
Oleander, Ruckus, and Phoebus, you don't really feel much of anything. It's just like, whoa. Dirge, you feel like something hates you. Like something wants you dead from the bottom of your core.
No!
You want to run, but in an instant that feeling is gone.
I feel like that was bird related.
And Dirge, you hear something behind you. You start hearing as bird bodies start hitting the floor. They start falling off the house. All of these birds start falling out of the sky, and it's raining birds now.
Oh, it hates birds. Oh no.
And after a couple seconds, all of the birds that were on the house fall off. There are several in this garden with you, and they are dead. Just
Oh.
totally dead.
Oh no.
Ruckus
Cover your eyes,
squats down
darling, don't
and
look at them.
Ruckus squats down and pokes a bird carcass. Huh.
It's dead.
Dirge picks up a bird carcass.
You pick up a bird carcass.
Can I examine it to find out? Did it just die of fear? How did I? Like, can I do that thing where I
Give me
examine the body?
to determine if it was something like... So you can give me, like, a medicine check to kind of check it over.
Oh.
You could also give
Oh,
me a
shit.
religion or occultism, whichever kind of works for the thing you're specifically trying to
Oh,
try.
Yeah, I thought I had a feat for that.
Do you?
For examining bodies. Yeah. Forensic acumen.
Gimme. You perform a forensic examination bodies in half the normal time. You succeeded your check, you can attempt an immediate check. So basically, you can do it in half the normal time.
Oh, okay.
And if you succeed, you can get a +2 on a following recall knowledge check to figure something else out.
Okay.
So yep, give me a medicine check.
Ruckus will
Yep.
also medicine check with his dumbass brain. Oh,
So yeah, it's not too hard to figure out that whatever that was is what killed the birds. They were killed by, well, it looks like they were killed by some sort of magic or some sort of hunt or whatever the heck that thing was. It seems to be gone for now.
Like they did.
Like
They
it's
just
sort of
died
like,
of magic. Like they didn't die of fear or like.
from what you can tell,
Their heart stopped.
heart
With-
attacks.
yeah, like their
Yeah.
heart just stopped,
Oh, okay.
and now they're dead.
Okay.
Are you alright?
My heart got a little fluttery there for a second. I think the birds got it worse. Oh no.
Must be your size, darling.
Ah.
No.
But I'm not a bird, says the Strix man.
Yeah, weirdly enough,
Yes,
you didn't
yes.
feel that effect. Maybe you're not bird enough.
He's not bird enough.
Oh, bird. Well, it. I'm gonna touch the window again. Tap tap.
You tap it, and it feels like a normal window.
Okay. Well, we dissipated some
hopefully-
kind of spookiness, so maybe
Hopefully
if
it
we
doesn't
go in-
reaccumulate.
Oh, it's gonna reaccumulate. Come on.
Oh, probably. Let's try and take care of this quick then.
Let's go in. And then, get in, get out, smash and grab. Except
Stomp,
no
stomp,
smashing
stomp.
and no grabbing. Just
Ah.
Again, we're not art thieves, we're exterminators.
Who said anything about art?
Alright, you guys go in. This room has a large brick fireplace to the north. The rest of the parlor is empty, save for a pair of chairs seated next to a small round table to the southeast.
assume it's not really lit. Someone would have commented on that.
No, it's not. I think it's just lit on the map to show that it is a fireplace.
Probably. Does it? Probably hasn't been lit for a really long time.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, you don't have to roll for that. You can kind of tell. Yeah, there's still like black soot from when it was, lit last. You can definitely tell it's been sitting for a while.
Now, we don't know what's in this next room. This might be a good time for sneakering.
Could be.
I got bad news for you.
I can do that.
Is it locked, though, I guess? Would be the first question. Can we open the door?
Is the door locked?
No, the door isn't locked, but hold on just a second.
We don't need Ruckus's big dumbass boots today.
Let me find where this thing was.
Demons.
The door. It's a
The
mimic.
door. Yeah, I was gonna say door mimic. You're eaten instantly.
God. And you're really tiny too. It would be so quick.
Oh no.
Okay. Oleander, as you touch this door, you get a weird feeling all of a sudden. Give me a will save. Okay.
Oh.
You feel like something weird is happening. You get a chill down your spine, but then it quickly passes. As for that, you go to open the door, get on the floor.
We're gonna do that
How do you do
dinosaur.
the
I want
dinosaur?
the dinosaur. Yeah. No, but there are no. Wouldn't that be something? Spoilers. There's
This
no
is-
You open the door,
dinosaurs.
there's a T-Rex
No,
on the
it's-
other side.
We
It's a reanimated
come on.
T-Rex skeleton, just
They're
surrounded with
just-
like green
yeah.
glow. That'd
There's
be
lots of
sick as
house.
hell.
There's lots of
Yeah.
house.
Get on it, Pathfinder. Come on.
Come on.
It's a zombie
Pathfinder.
T-Rex.
Give us our ghost dinosaurs path. Where's our ghost dinosaur adventure?
Don't remind me of the zombie dinosaur movie I once watched.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh,
What hates birds more than dinosaurs? Their ancestors.
So yeah, that.
Apparently, this house.
Yeah,
this house hates you a lot.
it does.
Yeah, the door opens without much effort.
Yeah. I'd like to sneak in. Also, I have this, so I can go my full...
Full speed. Okay.
Yeah.
You go at your full speed as you sneak in. This large study features 3 cozy-looking sofas arranged around a low oval table. 2 large stuffed chairs sit in the southeast corner, facing a low round table, while to the north looms a brick fireplace, which is also
Is it
not
clear?
lit. Yeah, everything seems okay.
Alright. The spotlight walks in. The goddamn fog light.
We're just gonna
whirring
examine this
behind
carpet.
chairs.
We've got Phoebus, who's made of sun, and Ruckus, who I very explicitly took no stealth options for. As a Strix, he had many, and I looked at all of them and went, no.
All right, as you guys enter this room, Ruckus, you pass by the fireplace, and suddenly the fire just comes on.
Ah.
Nice parlor trick. But we don't need a fire ruckus.
As the fire comes on,
Huh?
you look around again, and it looks like everything has been burnt already. You could have swore everything looked fine a minute ago, but everything looks like scorched and like awful looking, just scorched and burnt.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
A second later, you hear the screams of people on fire coming from this fireplace as arms start to stretch out of the fire towards you, Ruckus.
Oh.
Back up, back up, back up.
Ruckus,
Huh.
would this be incorporeal? He's, well, big strong brain.
Percept.
What
What are you
is
trying to
there an
percept?
intent? I don't know. Well, you know what? Wait, is this incorporeal? Is this an incorporeal? No, I don't think this would be an incorporeal undead situation. It's just maybe it is. Is it a ghost?
From the looks of it, this might be some sort of ghost something. Everyone give
big
me
strong
will
brain.
saves.
Okay.
Ah.
Beep.
For the whole
Oh
room.
God. Ruckus does not have a big strong brain today.
Is it the entire room or just in front of the fireplace?
It's everyone in this room, yeah. Okay, everyone but Dirge, you feel a soothing voice urging you to sit on one of these chairs, and you all do so. Like this is pretty normal.
Yeah, sure. Why wouldn't it be?
Wonderful upholstery.
Those chairs are burnt, guys. Come on, this
No,
is not
no,
what
come
we
take
came
a
here
seat. We're guests.
for. That doesn't sound right. You're just going to do an occultism on this at this fireplace. It's an impressive show, but there's something spooky happening.
As you try to explain that something spooky is happening, these hands start to sort of erupt from the ground and reach for all of you. Everyone give me reflex
Oh.
saves.
Oh, so I see I get... my occultism was not very good anyways.
Do we have? Oh, there it is. Boop.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, everyone fails except for Oleander. So, Oleander, you notice these hands are just trying to sort of come up and grab you. They're on fire and it's awful. It sort of snaps you out of it and you go, oh, what the fuck? And you're no longer feel compelled to be sitting on this chair.
Can I jump behind the chair and hide?
Yeah. Everybody else, let's see.
Dirge
Yeah,
is not
awful.
under the
Same.
will save effect, so she's fully like, what is this? No!
It's
Yep.
fire.
Ew!
Everyone
like
else, as
Fire!
every-
You're on fire! We're all on fire!
everyone else who is engulfed in the fiery hands takes 11 fire damage. You also now have weakness 5 to fire, which means fire will do extra damage to you.
It's like a curse type thing?
Oof!
And I'm going to have you
How does-
all. This is initiative
Oops.
time, so let me.
We fight against this guy.
Where do I? Oh, it would help if I was in the right space.
Here, Phoebus, I got you.
Come on, Two Finder, work out for me. There we go. I've clicked my boy. There we go. Oh God, why is it so high? Ruckus.
Since I jumped behind here and hid, can I do a
He's
stealth
going to
for
shoot
initiative?
hands.
Sure.
Where is that one? Matt. What are we fighting? Nothing. The air.
Fire. Nice.
Are they
Okay.
still
Ugh.
like, this is perfectly fine while sitting there and burning alive?
Let me double check exactly. This
Oh,
is this is sort of later in the house, so I had to.
Oh, what?
So
They
I'm
wanted
just
us to
going to
go through
double
the
check how
front
this
door.
all
You
works.
think we go through the front door?
The funny thing about this
Stupid house.
adventure is you can approach it from a bunch of different ways, so I have to know a lot before
Yeah.
the first
Oh, I
session.
see.
But
Oops.
that's okay. So I'm just gonna double check something real quick.
That's fine. It's fine.
We did run away from the pond encounter because it's.
Listen, we just fought centipedes.
That was not a ghost. That was an aberration. That's not our expertise.
Okay, this thing has an
Okay.
initiative thing, but it doesn't have a token or a thing on the map because this is just a spooky thing that's happening, and you guys got to
Oh.
sort of figure out how to deal with it.
Oh, shit.
You can use a turn order, boy. Use one of these chairs.
It's part of the map. I can't click it.
Here's that
Damn
again.
it!
Use the red boy. We already know he exists, so he can be fire.
Yeah, you can be a turn order, boy.
Let me just do some blah blah, and then let me just put in some things real quick.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, yeah, I don't have a thing for hand, so the hands are sort of just kind of everywhere. You don't have to move to do anything. They're just kind of all over the place. So
The entire room?
yeah, like more or less, they're like constantly coming out of the fireplace.
You can just add a custom thing to it.
Where?
In the turn order, on the very bottom where the cog is, add custom item is right below sorting options. So you
Oh.
can just type in hands.
If it'll let me. That is good to know.
Yeah.
Ah, excellent. Okay, so this thing can go then. Okay. So with spooky things like this in haunts, it's in out of character you probably don't know how this works, but in character you definitely do. Normally things like this need to be exercised. You can straight up attack them, although that will get the job done eventually. It's also pretty difficult. Normally to exercise something, it would be like a religion check or occultism. You could also try diplomacy or intimidation to try to scare it off or to convince it to leave. Things like that will work from time to time. And yeah, otherwise you can attack it like normal.
Awesome. I will try an occultism check.
Hmm, 19. Yeah, to you recognize this thing as something called lured to ashes, which is more or less this sort of thing can happen when a bunch of people die in a terrible fire and their souls kind of combine into one sort of monstrosity, and they want other people to join them in the death fire too. Unfortunately, that's not enough to exorcise them or disable it or anything like that. But you got 2 actions left.
Yeah, and you said we can either try diplomacy or intimidation.
Yeah, the things that normally work for haunts are usually, things that you might work in like a horror movie. Sometimes you can yell at the ghosts and they go away in a sort
What
of
if we-
defiant way. Sometimes you can reason with them. Sometimes you gotta exorcise them.
Can you lie to them?
Sure. What's the lie you want to try?
Oh, no, hey, if you guys stop trying to kill my friends and go away, we'll make sure you have a proper burial.
Okay, give me a deception check. Yeah,
Oh, I
no,
was awful at
that
that.
definitely doesn't work. If anything, the screams of the damned just get louder as these hands are reaching for you and your friends.
Okay, I get one more thing, so it's just gonna yell in a really tiny little voice. Fuck you! Go away.
You yell "fuck you." Unfortunately, it's not quite good enough.
She tried.
You tried. Ruckus.
Ruckus. Oh, Ruckus and your big dumb brain. Alright, he's gonna do an occultism, and if that doesn't work, he's gonna do something stupid. Those are our options today. Nope. Okay. Time for the stupid option. He's got 2 actions left. Goes over to the fireplace and he's gonna dunk a bottle of holy water in it.
Okay. That does like a certain amount of damage, doesn't it?
I think so. Ah, that gave me no information. It just says vial contains water blessed by good deity. How much damage do you do, holy
Could
water?
have swore. Hold on. It said in the thing.
1d6 good damage, 1 good splash damage.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, you just come over and dunk it in, and yeah, that puts some of the fire out. It definitely didn't like that one bit.
Good.
Give me a d6 real quick to see exactly how much you do.
Bip.
Okay. So you deal some damage.
I'm going to try for a diplomacy check. I'm going to try and reason with these ghosts. Come now, you died a terrible death. Would you wish the same upon others?
They don't seem to respond. It's just more screaming.
Oh, for the love of... Hang on.
Yeah, they're kind of jerks.
Honestly, selfish. I'm going to use... Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at my sheet right now.
You're good.
I'm going to use... yes, I'm going to use Inspire Courage. I'm gonna strum on my little harp, and I'm gonna give everyone +1s to attack rolls, damage rolls, and save against fear. And then I'm just gonna stab the couch.
So you haven't stabbed anyone yet, so that would be your attack 1.
Oh, attack 1? Okay.
Yeah. You only use
Just
attack
pierce
3
the
if you've
couch
attacked
like a-
twice.
like
yeah.
Like with like a pin cushion, just like, stop that!
Yeah, you doesn't seem like stabbing the couch does
Um.
much of anything. Dirge.
Okay. I think Dirge is gonna try and religion something at it, or an occultism. Which one is higher? Which one's better? We'll find out.
We'll find out together.
It's religion. I'll try to soothe this very angry soul.
19. You're trying, and you feel like you're sort of on the right path, but there's too much distractions as you're trying to chant the words. You're accosted by skeletal fiery hands.
Oh boy. Well. Well. Dirge can't take another hit, so I might have to just heal myself now. I think maybe yeah. Like by let's see, healing. I try to heal myself. I think that is 28 hit points.
It's the 2d8 version, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you just get that 10.
No, I get more than 10 because it's a two action.
Oh, you're doing the 2-action one on yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you get that much back.
I get back many. See? It can all be better. You can soothe the pain away. Alright, that's it.
Alright, the fiery hands are going to try to reach up for you again. Everyone give me reflex saves.
Ooh dear.
Close my thingy.
Come on, Phoebe. Yes!
Alright, Phoebus, nothing happens to you.
Woohoo!
Actually, who all was damaged by fire earlier? Was that just basically everyone but Oleander?
Yeah.
I think so.
We're gonna put that on there. So you guys have weakness 5 to...
What does that mean? That our save is like 5 worse?
It means you take... So if something would normally do 2 damage to you, fire damage, you also have weakness fire. So you take another 5 fire damage.
Oh, good.
So you're now very susceptible to fire in this fire room. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so... Oleander, you take 9 fire damage, and you're now weak to fire as well.
Oh, what's the DC for it?
I can't tell you that. Phoebus, nothing bad happens to you. You take no damage. Ruckus, you take 9 fire damage. And... Dirge, let's see. Yep. You take 16 fire damage.
Well, this is why we heal. Hey, I think we should just leave this room. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, I think if we all persevere, we can handle things.
But do we all need to be in the middle of the flames? And ouch!
Ruckus is very on fire. Just like, this is fine.
Yep.
Hmm.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll she's gonna try to do the exorcism again, I guess.
Okay, give me a... Well, more specifically, give me a religion check. If you want to specifically exercise something, that's going to be a religion check.
Oh, I thought we could do occultism for it.
That's more to figure kind of out what you need to do.
Oh, well then never mind. She'll just come forward and attack the fire.
16 is not quite good enough. This thing is very tough.
And can I try one more yell and go away?
Sure.
Nope.
Yeah,
That's all.
unfortunately, definitely not.
She's so tiny, she's not very scary.
She's doing her best. Ruckus is gonna not be right in the center of the fire because he's a flame. Let's see. Are the arms, or the hands are coming specifically from the fireplace, or are they just kind of like...
So they started coming from the fireplace, now they're like jutting out of the walls and out of the floor.
Okay.
Is the door accessible?
Yeah.
I mean, probably. It's ghost fire. Open character sheet. Ruckus can religion. Let's use your brain.
Let me check something. Phoebus, you're still doing your instrument stuff, right?
I am.
Does this count as an attack? I mean, what?
It
Yeah,
does.
You
It
know what?
should give
I'm
a
gonna say I'm gonna say that works. Yeah, as everyone is distracted, Dirge sort of started the exorcism. Ruckus, you remember the rest and you're able to finish it as... So, do you want to roleplay it in any way, or do you want me to just say that you do it?
Hold on.
Like, do you want to like say what you say to exorcise them, or?
Oh, I got spooked by movement in my room. It was nothing. We're fine.
It's the hands. They're real.
Yeah. After dunking the holy water in there, Dirge starts the chant, and Ruckus is like, "Oh, I know this one," and picks up with some kind of like fucking weird ass religious chant that he probably learned God knows when he was doing God knows what. Probably the last time he set something on fire.
All right. So yeah, as you say that, you and Dirge team up, and the screams sort of start to dissipate, and the hands start to retreat back into the walls and back into the everything, and the hands eventually go away, and the screams start to die out, and the room officially changes to its normal self. It is rotted and burnt and decayed.
Have
Oh,
we
unpleasant.
soothed? Have we soothed
Ruckus.
this poor soul?
Give me an occultism check.
Dirge wants to know. Is this temporary or forever?
That's a good question. 13, 23. Oleander, you're
Ruckus
not
is
really
delightful.
quite
Not
sure.
with his brain.
Dirge, you feel like you sort of feel it out, and while you're not innately very familiar with this specific kind of haunt, you do think this is temporary. You don't know when it'll be back, but if you can find the source, then you can get rid of it forever. And for completing that CR5 encounter, guys, you get a ton of experience, I think. Hold on.
Are we like?
Ruckus.
Are we 5 more?
You are,
Susceptible to fire forever?
as far as you know,
Oh, good.
but
Oh,
you are
lovely.
still very susceptible to fire.
How much more?
I'm going to
You
strum
each-
my little doodah. I'm going to use soothe.
Okay. For experience, you all get Okay, you all go up 5, so we'll do that first. Experience points, let's see. You all get another 80 experience.
Woohoo!
Ruckus sits down
That's
on the
160
shitty
total.
couch and puts out his flaming feathers.
Well then, I hope not every room in this house is haunted. I don't think I can handle much more fire.
Ruckus thinks
Gives
about the
Ruckus
blood
a
mist. Ruckus returns the look like he has no fucking idea what you're talking about.
You tried to light me on fire earlier this evening.
I wasn't lighting you on fire. I was lighting bugs on fire. It's not my
The
fault if
bugs
you were
that were
covered in
on
bugs.
me. Yes.
Well, maybe you shouldn't get covered in bugs.
I didn't willingly walk into them. They walked onto me. Though who can blame
Same
them?
thing.
I willingly stayed in the bugs at one point.
Ruckus
Just let it happen.
motions. Ruckus motions to Dirge, like, see? Like, this is somehow Phoebus's problem.
Because he's so
Dirge-
shiny, this stupid thing.
Dirge did it. Dirge admits to their wrongdoing.
Well, I can do one more big heal for everybody. If that's what we want to do now. I think everyone got hurt at least a little bit there, right?
I did. Those
Yeah.
hands. Oh, goodness.
You know what? Then we're gonna do it. We're all close enough. Maybe the room will be healed as well. Is what Dirge
Ruckus
thinks.
looks at the fireplace.
Oh, I can see people's health bars now. Hooray!
Yep, I forgot to turn that
Oh.
on earlier. You guys should be able to see each other's health bars. So.
Bitchin'.
There we go.
Yay. Now I know how hurt everyone is. I'm still gonna do it. This is the last heal.
Perhaps we should take a break for the time being. This room seems to be less hostile than it started out as.
I roll the
Okay.
numbers.
You do your bursty and everyone gets 5 back.
I roll
Yes.
absolutely terrible on healing rolls.
That's fine.
Oleander, as you feel this magic healing you, you feel less susceptible to fire.
Ah. Only
Yay.
Oleander?
Only
Oh.
Oleander.
Oh.
Interesting.
Because it's 100%. Heal.
It's fine. We'll just be full of fire. Ruckus is gonna look around the room for, I don't know, mysteries. He's gonna
Oh.
give it a good old Scooby-Doo once over.
That's a good
If I
point.
can
Let's look
find
out
my
the window.
my perception button. There it is.
Yeah, what's out these windows?
What's up?
Big strong brain.
Oh. He sits back down on a couch.
As you look outside, you see. Where's the stupid? There we go. As you look outside, you see mostly the woods outside the house to the north. But you also see a path sort of snaking into the trees in the back.
Probably past the lake beast.
Yeah, this is the other side of the house.
Mhm.
This is sort of like the top of that. Like I can go back to that map real quick.
Yeah, I think I know where we are. Like,
It's,
yeah.
yeah, it's looking up this way.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Are there any mysteries inside this room?
Are there any mysteries inside that room? Let's see if there is anything in that room.
Ruckus's big strong brain locate a mystery. Flip clop.
It doesn't look like there's anything else of note in this room. If there was anything of value, it's been burned and rotting since forever.
We should check the one we came in, too, and see if there's anything in there.
Yeah. Big strong brain.
they're just trying to find anything aesthetically appealing about this location.
No.
No.
No, it's all burnt and icky. So unless you like that, then there's nothing.
Maybe I do. She looks at the ceiling and the patterns of the mold and the mildew and the rot and the
Ruckus.
It's like
flame.
looking at clouds. You kind of see whatever shapes you want to see. Ruckus, as you're looking around in this room, you specifically, you notice something is off about the wall right over here.
Ruckus knows.
The Ruckus look, it's a mystery. He investigates the wall.
How are you doing, Phoebe, dear?
Oh, a little bit tired, darling. It's been a bit of a rough day, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think those chairs in that other room are more functional than these ones. We should go over there.
Well, perhaps.
Tip over the couch out of
Oof.
Tip over everything.
Yeah,
Out of
just like a
spite.
cat.
I'm not that petty.
Tip everything over.
As they come in, Ruckus,
should
you
try
kind of feel around and you feel a little notch in the wall. Looks like you found a secret door.
Ruckus, look, it's a secret door. Secret.
Oh boy.
Ruckus in character. Secret.
Oh dear.
Okay.
What is it?
Found a door.
Hmm?
So
Open.
by is it like a handle or is it something he can slide? Like what's going on here?
It looks like something you would kind of slide open, like a slide open door.
Okay. I'm gonna use his bird muscles.
Okay, you open the door. It's not locked or anything. It opens quite effortlessly. As you enter this room,
He
the first thing that hits
Peeks
you,
inside.
the
He
air
does
is
not
so...
go in. He's just like peeking, like what's in here?
That's okay. You
This
don't
looks
have to
cursed.
go in for this because this room
Uh-oh.
smells nasty. It is stale and gross. There's no windows. There's no nothing. It's awful. The air in this windowless room is stuffy and stale. Densely packed bookshelves line the wall to the west and most of the south. The only other furnishings in this room are a large wooden desk with a high-backed chair in the corner opposite the shelves. Thick black curtains with little glowing spots hang on the north and east walls, giving the impression of a star-filled night sky. Above, a strange spiral shape growth of fungus almost looks like a twisted series of letters.
Wow.
Phoebe's got his hand over his nose. He's just like, oh, who in their right mind would have a secret library like this and not put of incense? Disgusting.
Hold on, I
Ruckus
have
looks
Fungus in
up
the
at
ceiling is trying to tell us something.
fungus. Yeah, Ruckus is like, what's going on with this fungus?
Yeah, it's trying to tell us something.
You're able to kind of, as the door opens and sheds light into this room for the first time, and who knows how long.
Fungus reaches.
Where is it? Did I lose it? Oh, it's right here.
I've confirmed that birds have a sense of smell.
To look it up. Be like, is my bird upset by this? Yes.
You notice the spiral says this. On the left side, can you feel me sleeping from underneath my bed? Will it keep on dreaming even after I'm dead? Every time I waken, the nightmare fades away, but now my mother's taken. She left me here to stay. I thought you were a monster, it turns out you're so much worse. You called in an imposter beyond the universe. Now Chikuth's impending, was that always your plan? Did you begin this ending to save the Ashen Man? So now no one is sleeping. I wait under my bed, and I'm no longer dreaming because I'm finally dead.
And can we do a remember check on that Chikutsu name?
Yeah, so you do remember hearing that name, Chikuth, from the glibbering mouth thing from before.
The Google. The
Yeah,
goo man.
that thing said the same thing.
Oh
And this is a
dear.
fungus, huh?
Yeah, it's just like moss and fungusy grossness.
I hope it's not too presumptuous of me to say that I believe someone brought something terrible here.
Oh, I wonder if on the floor above this is a bedroom and under that bed is right above here.
Perhaps someone should take a look at these books. They might give us more information about this name.
Hold on. I don't. You know what? Whatever. If the fungus is weird, I don't know if Ruckus gives a shit. Let's go. Let's get poisoned. We're fine.
You go in, and the fungus is weird, but it doesn't seem to react to you at all.
Sweet.
The room is just
Do you
kind
need
of
a light,
gross
darling?
from no one opening it for a while.
Need some light?
Ruckus is like, there's no poison. Comes back. He's got enough. He's not gonna take out his torch in this room.
Phoebe's going to do something a little bit fruity, and he's gonna cast Continual Flame to light up this room.
You do.
Oh, he did it.
It is now lit up, and you can see perfectly.
There, isn't that so much better?
That's the one that costs money to use, right? It's like the 6 gold
Yep.
one. Yep. That's one of those spells that costs money.
Every time you use it?
Every time. It's one of those
Yep.
things where it's like you
Oh.
must have X amount of gold worth of this item, but I don't
And
expect...
that was my one use of it unless
Oh.
someone wants to.
Give you
Lend me
6
some money.
more.
Give you 6
I
more
have
gold.
bad news. Ruckus doesn't have any money.
Nico did spend every penny, and I'm very proud of that.
That
I
is
did.
so
I
funny.
sat there and I was like, how can I delete every cent of money from this man's pocket?
Every copper, every
God.
silver, every gold gone.
Literally 0. Big strong brain.
Yeah, you guys take some time and percept around this room, and you find a ton of books, still in very good quality. These
With all
books, we're going to call these the
Oh, are there any books that have the name of the man?
not here, but you do find a bunch of other topics of note that sort of keep coming up in this secret room. We are going to call this. You can take these with you, but it's a little tedious doing each one individually. So we're going to call these the B21 books. This is room B21, which doesn't really spoil anything. You can now research the following topics, and boy, is there a lot of them.
Here we go.
And I will unlock these so you guys can see them, although you won't have anything researched yet. But you'll be able to start doing that in your downtime. You can research the Dominion of the Black, the Order of the Starless Night, Chikuth, the Void Mirror, the Starless Scope, and the Ashen Man.
How cheery.
So I will reveal all of those for you, so give me just a second. Alright, so we
Ruckus has a big strong brain.
Alright, so we have
I'm
Dominion
so
of
proud
the
of
Black.
him.
Like I said, these will be blank, but they are here to remind you that you can research them.
They will gain more. Okay, I see. We good.
So we have Order of the Starless Night is now available. Chikuth the Malevolence is now available.
Oh, lovely.
The Void Mirror.
Secrets.
We have the Starless Scope. I did the Void Mirror and the Ashen Man.
Ashen Man.
Phoebe's just gonna grab a handful of books and sit down with them.
Did anyone investigate this desk?
No one has investigated.
I don't think so.
Investigate it.
I'd like to first check spooky on the desk. Detect spooky.
Detect spook.
Oh,
Well, it don't read aura of magic today, it read aura of spook.
oh yeah. Can I do detect magic in the room?
Actually,
Sure.
it's read aura.
Because I can do that too.
It's read spook. Read spook like a book.
Yeah, you don't detect any extra magic or spook in this room. It looks like the desk is more or less empty. I mean, there's some books around that are all about the topics that you guys now know about.
The one person was having a secret room.
Well, clearly he didn't want anyone to know about these books of his. So, might as well read what's so worth
Forbidden.
keeping hidden.
Is there a secret behind the bookshelf?
you'd have to take a looky-loo.
Alright, I'll percept.
Secret.
Their bodies in the walls?
Yes.
You peel it back and there's just a whole ass skeleton.
You know, oh, shit, that's the wrong. Sorry, I saw P and I was
Dancing at the door does nothing.
Not that
I
attitude.
cannot percept.
Perception is apparently the one thing Ruckus can do
Oh
today,
man,
which
Ruckus.
is
Yeah, you
wild
just
considering he is Ruckus.
you almost missed this. You notice that at this part of the bookshelf, all of the books are about the same color. They're all this kind of like brick red, kind of brown, but you notice one green book. And you instinctively pull it, and the wall slides open.
Secrets. Ruckus continues to chant.
Double the secrets? Damn, this dude was
Oh,
private.
And it leads to a staircase that leads deep, deep down below.
Why do I hear sliding?
Secrets.
Oh, for the love of...
They're opening the walls.
He pokes his head
Wait.
back in. I found a secret.
Wait a minute.
Hmm.
We should at
What?
least do some homework before we actually dive in head first. Because as it is, we're going in blind.
Yeah.
So, let's just take a moment, read some of these awful, disgusting little slimy books, and figure out what we're up against.
Or we could take
So I
a day.
believe at least
We could take
we
a day to
could.
read the
We could.
slimy books.
we could.
Just leave. And
We did
Ruckus.
set up camp just outside. We could take some of these back, eat some food, and then come back in the morning when we're all rested.
Ruckus grabs some books and goes, "Alright, but I ain't reading."
oh, I love reading.
I'll read them to you, dear.
Perfect.
I can help read.
You can. Wonderful.
We read
Yeah.
the spooky books aloud and accidentally summon a demon, creating more problems.
Phoebe keeps censoring himself every couple of words. He doesn't say like the bad words. He doesn't even swear. He just skips over them.
It's like listening to the neighbor from The Simpsons read a scary story.
And then there was a Oogie Boogie. You could say corpse. No.
So is your plan that you guys are going to take these books? You did set up camp outside. You also have that abandoned house that's a few hours away. That's a little further away from the manor. So where do you want to go to look over these books?
I think the camp.
We could also look at the grounds a bit more before leaving. I feel like we have one more combat in us, maybe.
We got that spooky thing in the library.
That's true.
More books?
Perhaps we should just take... yes, more books. Alright.
But there are the outdoors. There's a path out
Well...
there.
Well, there's that awful flesh monster at the lake. So perhaps we should go around... this way. As opposed to going that way.
There's more awful flesh monsters in the woods.
That's
There's always
true.
an awful flesh monster.
Yes, we know.
But if we search all of the woods systematically, then we'll clear them. And maybe find the bodies they buried in the woods.
What if the trees are evil?
Well, we already had a mass bird extinction event. I don't know how much worse it could get. Looks at camera.
Could kill more birds.
Let's
Oh.
not.
Could find out if there are more dead birds out in the woods.
At least we should just
How
take
far
a
did
peek.
we go?
while we're here, should we consider taking out the vampiric mists in the library over here? Or are we checking out that path leading out back?
Well, the fire, that problem isn't solved forever. I still feel like that will come back. So if we do that, the same thing to the mist, then it probably won't stick forever either. We'll just
Best to save our energy. Let's check out around back.
okay. Can we have the world map?
Yeah.
I slide your crazy person pockets.
Or there was nothing relevant in this. Yeah, I mean,
Ruckus
I mean, as
holds
you
open
guys
a
round
crazy
the house,
person
yeah,
pocket.
you can just.
She hops in the
on that
pocket.
wall. There's not like, aha, we put a sigil on the back of the wall of the spooky room.
Alright, you guys start to make your way around the house.
Sorry. After this, let's make some food, shall we?
Are we staying a ways back from the house on purpose? Like,
I would think so. Just like, give it a little bit of a wide berth as we go around.
Your pockets are roomy and full of stuff.
This is like, yeah, I find things.
I can tell.
Gotta make sure I have space for things.
Like rocks?
Sometimes.
Alright,
Are
you
we going
find
to-
yourselves sort of at the edge of the woods. As you all get here, give me a perception check.
Strong
Okay.
time.
I can't see. Absolute
Phoebus doesn't
shit.
have eyes.
oh
We're
boy,
tired.
We are.
So that's 23, 9, 10, and 8.
Hold on.
23.
Big strong brain.
Oh, this is a different one. 11.
No.
Alright, guys.
Ruckus is thinking about rocks.
You all get the feeling that there's someone behind you watching. Ruckus, you're the first to look behind you. Your eyes are drawn to the second floor of the house, where you see a seemingly human-looking figure staring at you. They're in silhouette. You can't really make out any details, but as soon as your eyes meet, it retreats from view.
Ruckus makes the face on his icon.
Oof. Did I
That could be a
feel
person
that?
or a ghost. Ruckus like, that could be a person or a ghost. That's fine.
Well, they're all the way up
Mhm.
there, and I've recently learned I don't climb very well. So, we'll have to find stairs later.
There were stairs going
Tomorrow.
down.
That's
Like,
a
that
tomorrow
helps.
job for a tomorrow us. We'll check out that basement tomorrow.
Tomorrow me is gonna find more secrets in rocks. Ruckus is thinking about
Mhm.
rocks.
If I find some cool rocks, I'll leave them in your pocket.
Oh,
Dirge.
sweet.
If no one else does anything, Dirge is going to drift towards the woods.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just take a look.
You start to go towards the woods. Give me a survival check.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Really, really?
Phoebe is used to the nice life.
Phoebus does not
He's a
have
fancy
eyes
boy.
or a body. Phoebus is like, I've never been alive. I have to go.
I have to go. The sun's calling me. Starts walking toward the east.
Evaporate.
Alright, Ruckus and Dirge, you're able to navigate things. It feels like it should be like a pretty straight shot, but it almost feels like you're going to get lost at some point. But before you
Someone
know
hold
it,
my hand.
you're all out into this clearing, and the first thing that you see, well, I'll just read what it says. The oppressive forest retreats into a clearing of dry grass that seems to almost whisper as a breeze wafts through. A ring of 7 ancient standing stones surrounds a circular, crypt-like stone structure that measures roughly 12 feet in diameter and rises to a height of 15 feet. Carvings of moths and butterfly-winged people flying among the stars decorate the crypt's sides, while its heavy stone slab door is embedded with a series of bronze rings set in grooves. Each of the rings has a single, small disc of differently colored crystals attached to it. At the very center, a large orb of pale yellow crystals affixed to the stone.
Hey, can we pull out that book on the Order of the Starless Knight and be like, is this in there?
I've
let's
linked
start
it in the
flipping and
Discord
looking for
chat, but it looks like
pictures.
this.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a fancy mausoleum.
Fun.
Sure.
Look at all the sprites on the side.
Ruckus might use his big strong brain. What check to obtain information?
For something like
See
this,
if he recognizes any of this as weird cult shit or something.
give me a religion check.
He got that. He can religion bit.
19. Yeah, it's not any that you're familiar with. Doesn't quite ring a bell.
May I check?
Yeah, anyone can check.
I know absolute garbage.
Phoebus continues to not have any eyes.
Oh.
Look, my eyelashes are very long. They get in the way.
Dirge, you recognize this. You identify the workmanship of this monolith as evoking an ancient, largely abandoned style of Desnan art. That was at its height of popularity around 10,000 years ago. It's very, very old.
See, it's quite colorful. How pretty. She's just gonna stare dreamily at it, I guess.
Phenomenal.
And with that 28, you're able to piece it together that this is something dedicated to Desna. They're known for their sort of butterfly. There's a lot of stuff going on with butterflies and stars. The northern star that you follow when you're lost was created by Desna, and that is where they live. They're a good god. They're not evil or anything.
How beautiful.
So by all accounts, this should be a safe area.
Maybe an ally. As long as we do not desecrate this place. I would not recommend
Looks at
that.
Ruckus.
What?
Hands to yourself.
I haven't done anything yet.
Not yet.
This is the common conversation between these two.
Is there like
Yeah.
a window? Is that
The
window
mom
real?
friend versus the rabid chihuahua.
Get mom friend versus chaotic dumbass.
Yeah.
Is that window real? Can we look inside?
If you can get that high.
Oh, it's
How high is it?
Oh, hi.
How high is it indeed? Let's see.
Hi. How high is it? New game
How
show.
high is it? Let's see.
Splash screen.
It's about 20, 25 feet up. But that doesn't matter for one of you.
Oh, yeah.
Oleander.
Yeah, you can just
Everyone
float up
looks
there
at-
and look.
Would you mind taking a peek, dear?
Yeah. She'll go up.
Okay, you go up and look inside. You look down into the window, and the room is pretty dark and full of nothing, and it looks like it just drops into a pit. Like there's no floor.
Oh.
There's no immediate floor, anyway.
I do have dark vision.
Do have dark vision. How deep is this? Let's see. Looks like the drop is only about 10 feet from where the floor should be.
So it's
So if you
like
were at
halfway
ground
up
level,
the thing?
basically, it's like 10 feet down from there.
What about the door?
The door is roughly 15 feet tall. It's a pretty tall door. It's taller than all of you.
Does it look like there's a way to gain entry?
So from that window, there is a big door right in front of you guys.
Is
Yeah,
there
that's
like
what I mean. The door doesn't have
opening?
any handles. Like, how would it
It
work?
doesn't look obvious to open. You'd have to make a thievery check if you want to try to like pick the lock or try to sort of suss out any information.
Yeah. You can do better than that.
Thievery, yeah, no, this is like you've never seen a door like this before. You don't really have any idea how to open it.
Is there anything inside, dear?
A pit.
Oh. Is there
How deep?
anything else besides the
10
pit?
feet.
Oh. It's not a crypt, not a burial?
No, it's just a pit.
Oh.
It's a
Interesting.
weird door. On the inside, too.
Interesting.
You'd think there'd be a door handle on this side.
You would. Maybe it's not ready to be opened then.
You think you could open it? I think I would just need more time. Like, a lot more time.
Well, we're not in any immediate danger, so... Let me see if I can't get it open from this side.
Are there any cool rocks in here?
On the inside, it doesn't look like it.
On the outside?
On the outside, yeah, there's these gems that are around. A 19 thievery isn't good enough either. If you want to try to learn more about this door, you can give me a perception check.
Alright. It's not working. Let me take another look.
Oh yeah. So after kind of messing with the door for a bit, it looks like the rings that these orbs are on can kind of rotate around, and you have to figure out the exact right kind of combination. It's almost like a safe. You have to put all of the stones in the exact right position, and the door will open. But there is a lot of
the artwork.
There's a
Looking at the artwork.
Yeah.
They seem to resemble astrological sigils, like star signs. Would it be out of the question to assume that there's supposed to be a certain constellation?
You're not sure if it represents a specific constellation, but you are right on the money that this is some sort of astrological, some sort of something.
Planetary
Okay.
alignment?
When you say rotate, you mean like they're on discs that are different discs that are
Yeah, like you
rotating
can
over
you can
plane?
kind of spin them around, around the sort of one in the center. You just need to find out exactly where they're supposed to be.
What kind of check would that be to try and suss this out and fiddle with it?
That would be thievery. This finding out the order that this all goes in is thievery. This is equivalent to picking the lock.
We can both thieves.
Oh.
All right, let's team up, dear.
No.
Goodness, this is tricky.
Definitely not, yeah. Normally with, like, saves, you know, you get it to the right number and you hear a little click, so it's like, ah, that's the right number. You're not getting any kind of reaction like that with this.
Maybe the stone's too thick.
I think we might
I
have
think-
to learn the right planetary alignment.
I go to the
Ruckus
other
trying to
side
use his brain.
and listen from that
I
side.
only know about one. I only know about one star, and it's the biggest one.
The sun.
Right on the money, dear.
Is the mechanism visible from the inside?
You have to go back in and find out.
Is it visible from the inside?
It is not. The other side of the door is just flat stone.
Maybe it's the North Star.
That wouldn't be too far off. What
Just want
kind
you all-
of check would it be to like look up at the sky? Because it's nighttime, right?
Yeah, it is. The sun has now
Yeah.
finally set. To know about star stuff, that would be like lore astrology or lore astronomy or something like that. Otherwise, it's just a straight intelligence check, which would just be a d20 plus your intelligence modifier.
Right.
Ruckus groans. I think the answer's inside the house.
Oh. Well, I certainly don't want to go back in there this evening.
We have to solve a puzzle.
Oh, we can never look out for it then.
Ruckus, exhausted by the idea of puzzles.
Phoebe's gonna look up at the sky and squint as best as he can past his own glow, and try and see what he can see in the stars.
Okay. With that 15, you're able to point out the northern star. It is the brightest and bestest star. What else are you trying to suss out exactly?
Trying to see like if there's any specific constellation in the sky that would match up with on the door.
No, it doesn't look like it. There's no star
must be in
that
the
is
wrong
surrounded
hemisphere.
by several other stars.
I could try one more time before we give up.
Anyone else want to give it a shot?
Dirge just wants to spin the pretty colors because they're pretty. But
Oh,
otherwise,
darling.
she's watching you all like a hawk to make sure that nobody damages this thing. Nope. He's just spinning
Nope.
around in circles.
And
Whee!
nope.
22's not good enough.
Mm-mm.
Goodness.
Can I use my hero point when we get to the session to reroll it?
Sure.
If we're using those?
Yep,
All
yep, we do
right.
have hero points. Everyone... Oh yeah, I'll explain how hero points work. I think most of you know, but I'll say it again. You can use a hero point to re-roll any roll that you just made, like any d20 roll. If you're also dying, you can use it to instantly recover from dying, and you're just like unconscious, or I think maybe you're at 1 HP.
Oh wait, actually,
There's one left.
let me try inspiring competence to help someone pick
aid,
that door.
I think that adds a +2, like the aid reaction. You forego your thing to give someone else a +2. Even with that on either of those, it's still not enough, I'm afraid.
Bugger. Okay.
This is some crazy door.
This door sucks.
Ruckus has sat down in the grass and is watching you all spin stones around.
I'm gonna, you know what? She's just gonna go find a cool stone on the ground and then go get back in Ruckus's pocket and put the stone in there.
Sweet. Stone obtained.
You said there was this in the center and a bunch of other stones around?
Yeah, there's this one very large stone in the center,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's 11 surrounding it.
They're just gonna look at those. What are they up about? What's their deal?
You're not sure.
Do I have? I mean, if I press a percept, do I get to maybe know if I percept well?
Stones here.
Just trying to figure out, like, what are you trying to find out exactly?
I don't know. Like, what is the deal with the 11 stones? Are they just part of this religion? Is it just?
That would be a
shrine
religion
thing?
check then. So if you can go, okay. So after kind of figuring it out, you guys have had time to think this over. It looks like the middle one is the sun, and each orb around it represents a planet, like 11 planets in the solar system.
So what? You thought I was looking at the door?
Are you?
No, I was looking. You said there was one big, like look at the map. There's a little dot, a little like dot.
He is the
Dot.
stones around us.
Yeah, I was looking at these stones.
Oh, they're just rocks.
Oh, I thought they were like in a pattern or something.
Oh, right, you mean,
Never
I
mind
see.
then.
The, right.
There were like other little carvings, I guess? Question mark.
Yeah, there is a ring of stones surrounding it. It looks like there might have been something on them, like, but it's so faded now that it's if you know that the art style of building is from 10,000 years ago, this thing is still standing through some sort of means, but nothing else would be in the same condition. So the rocks have been weathered down from rain and snow and all sorts of stuff over time. So if they meant anything, that information is lost.
Oh, Dirge appreciates.
Ruckus lays down
Well-
in the grass.
I do believe that's all we can do out here for now. We should probably check around in the house again tomorrow and see if we can't find anything regarding this. for the meantime, shall we head back to camp?
We can read those books.
Yeah,
We
head
can.
back at camp.
And I'll promise I'll try to put something over my head so I don't light up the entire tent while we sleep.
Dirge blinks.
Ruckus takes a deep breath and stands up from laying in the grass.
Have a nice rest.
Sure. Grass is soft.
You see the new
It is pretty
see the
nice,
rock I got?
actually.
It's like a
I
squirrel.
did. Sweet rock.
Squirrel rock.
Ruckus and Oleander think about rocks.
Oh, I just had a thought. We
Yeah.
almost got lost on our way through the woods to get here.
Uh-huh.
Wonder what, and we found a shrine. This is, wonder what's
Woods
up
are
with that.
haunted.
Yep, woods haunted.
Woods haunted, Ruckus carries on into the haunted wood.
You're able to make your way back out pretty okay. You remember the way you came, and the way you take back does lead you back out with no
Ruckus
issues.
is a crazy survival man.
Oops.
Do you want to go back this way, or do we want to go to that ruined building?
Let's head back for now. Let's not bite off more than we can chew, shall we?
We could activate the lake monster.
Let's not.
She's trying to see
No.
how big her mouth is.
We do not want to disturb the wildlife.
I can't chew a whole lot.
It was already screaming that name that we found in one of these books, so perhaps if we do a little bit of homework and studying, we might be able to handle it better.
All right.
All right, you guys make your way back out. We'll say that you're tented up over here, sort of out of the way.
Ruckus, as they pass, eyes to the trees for like, there are more centipedes in there. I'll burn this place down if I can swear it.
Thankfully, you notice no centipedes.
Ruckus, always prepared to burn down an entire building to kill some centipedes, apparently.
Will the centipedes repopulate by tomorrow?
I don't know.
I hope not. Goodness, that'd be disgusting. Cracks open a big old book.
Time to crack open books.
You guys starts research. Do you want to resolve any researches now? Because we're at a good wrap-up point. You can either do this now, or we can do it at the beginning of next session.
I think perhaps the beginning of next session. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
We can start with learning who reads good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Ruckus can read good, but doesn't like reading.
Yeah,
People-
Phoebe's gonna read a very censored version of these books to
Oh,
Ruckus, who refuses to hold a book.
read Ruckus a bedtime story about cults and ancient deities, and he's like,
Yeah,
Maybe some of these will
finally,
be, yeah,
a
religion and
peaceful sleep for the
occultism.
first time in months.
the first time in years.
We got some religious and occult books now, Ruckus. It's not society anymore. Maybe.
It's not society anymore. I'm no good at society. Ruckus
Somebody
We all
have
know
the book
this.
open for Oleander will lay on it and read. To help out.
All right, and you guys research into the night and sleep very strange dreams, but we'll find out what happens exactly next
Ruckus
time.
always has strange dreams.
These will be even stranger, but we'll find that out next time on Malevolence.
Ooh.
Hooray.
This